influencers and on-air personalities, your brand will be heard, seen, and connected everywhere. Our expert multimedia marketing team will build a strategy to make this your best summer yet. Call 956-992-8895 or visit radiounited.com and team up with News Talk 710 KURV for winning results this summer.
This is your news, weather, and talk station. News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
KURV News Time is 6:42, special edition of the Valley's Morning News. For us, it's an honor to join the VIVA Fresh EXPO. We're broadcasting from the JW Marriott property, a big, gargantuan retreat convention center. It's an amazing property, JW Marriott. Some of y'all, especially in this audience, you guys know what I'm talking about. VIVA Fresh EXPO for the Texas International Produce Association. Yeah, yesterday was day one. Today, we're going to be featuring a lot of conversations of the folks who make it possible for us to be here. So stick around. First conversation is with the Garza family. Wasim, our friend, personal friend of mine, Wasim Hernandez, he's one of the, he's like the tip of the spear at Dimple Distributors. And I got that conversation coming up in mere seconds. So we'll feature plenty of conversations from Viva Fresh EXPO this year in San Antonio. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys. Ready to fight for you? Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. The House passing a 2-week extension of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act program known as FISA. The stopgap move comes after a dozen GOP holdouts voted against a long-term extension of the spy program over privacy concerns. House Speaker Mike Johnson is optimistic.
We were very close tonight. There's some nuances with the language and some questions that need to be answered, and we'll get it done. The extension allows us the time to do that.
Supporters say FISA is crucial to fight terrorism. Skeptics demand reforms like warrants and criminal prosecutions for FISA abuses. President Trump traveled to Vegas yesterday to highlight the benefits of his no tax on tips policy.
Employees who adjust their withholding levels now will see an immediate surge in their take-home pay. For the remainder of 2026, you're going to see a big surge.
Today he goes to Arizona for a Turning Point USA event. America's listening to Fox News.
The 710 KURV special broadcast from Viva Fresh, from the Texas International Produce Association. We're here with Dante Gagliazzi in San Antonio. Big thank you to our many, many supporters who make it possible for us to be in San Antonio for this special broadcast. And among them is Bebo Distributing Company. And the DEI hire for the company is Wasim. He shouldn't have sent me that, but he's a dear friend of mine, so we like to joke around. Yeah, but he would qualify in a separate universe, where Donald Trump lost. He would be the DEI hire for this. Director of Human Resources, Wasim Hernandez. Brother, thank you again for your support, having us.
Of course,
in
thank
San
you for
Antonio
having us
for Viva Fresh. What type of name is Wasim anyway? I've heard of Joaquin.
Yeah,
Wasim.
That's the way it's spelled in the Bible in Spanish.
There you go.
He was a king in the Old Testament. Not a very good one, but my dad's hope is that I would redeem the name, right? Because he liked what it meant. So I'm trying to give the name some honor.
Is the jury still on that? Or have you still working on it? Yeah,
still working.
The
on
Lord
it
is perfecting you all the time,
as long as I draw breath.
Wasim Hernandez. And by the way, Jimmy and Adrian, thank you again for your support of the broadcast. So how did you wind up with Jimmy and all the gang over at Bibble? Tell me about your experience over at Bibble.
So I met Jimmy and Adrian in 2014. Jimmy sat across from me at a HRT fundraiser that you had at the headquarters over on Olana.
Yeah, a political fundraiser.
Yeah,
over there.
It was a small little shindig, and everyone just showed up and cut a check and sat across from Jimmy, and he wrote me. I had seen him at several functions, but he wrote me a note, and he slid it over, and then I called him after, and then we just got to talking, and then at some point I was, looking for a job elsewhere, and I asked to list him as a reference, but he's like, after your interview there, come over here, and we'll see what we can do.
All right.
See, and that's how it
A
started.
little bit behind the scenes, Wasim was one of the lead, great, still is back then. Yes, you guys who don't know, I was a Republican chairman 2014, 2018, Hidalgo County. Thank God for Wasim and Jimmy and all the gang. They helped open up a permanent HQ for some political competition, and we're thankful for all the efforts of all these folks. And that's where they met back in 2014 at the beginning of that term. Okay, so Bebo, tell me about the owners. Tell me about Jimmy. And what does Bebo Distributing do from day to day?
So Bebo was founded back in 1988. Mr. Garza, Jimmy's dad, Aquiles Jaime Garza, had been spending a lot of time in Mexico as a buyer for, back then, was Teddy Bertuca. I don't know if you remember Teddy Bertuca.
I remember well, on 23rd.
Right off of 23rd. So he'd been spending a lot of time in Mexico just kind of sourcing products for Teddy, and that's where he kind of picked up the experience to go off on his own, right? So he founded Bebo and started operating out of the Bertuca office first, and then went and bought a piece of land over by the bridge in Far, before the bridge was even there, over on Military Highway in Far, Texas.
Okay. Knowing that the bridge was coming, I'm assuming back then.
I am assuming. I've never asked if he knew or not, but I'm assuming that was part of
they would smoke signal like that plenty of years before that. Kind of like the Mansa Lewis Bridge was going to go here full throttle commercial pretty soon. So what are some of the harvests that are processed, and what does Bebo do when it comes to harvest season?
Bebo is an American distributor that helps Mexican farmers and U.S. farmers to go to market, right? And go to the retail stores, go to the food service accounts, that those food service distributors go to the restaurants, right? We don't directly go to stores or to restaurants, but we go to the big either distribution centers for retail stores or food service distributors that those service all types of accounts. You can think of schools, you can think of gas stations, or even sit down places. And we source products for those distributors.
Man, I remember years ago, Jimmy was telling me that they had a meeting with Taco Bell for tomatoes distribution, right? And every time I go and get some Taco Bell thing with tomatoes, I'm thinking, oh, I wonder if this is some of Jimmy's stuff that they put, Bebo put into.
Yeah, we haven't done tomatoes in a while. It's been about
years.
It's been a while. I think, right around 2017, 2018,
that
when
about right.
When the tariffs started kind of coming up there was a tomato suspension agreement where the Florida tomato growers kind of wanted some support from the administration to give, I guess, preference or some protection to Florida grown tomatoes or U.S. grown tomatoes as opposed to Mexican grown tomatoes, right? So that's where the first set of tariffs kind of set in on the tomato suspension agreement, and through the USMCA reform that Donald Trump brought that kind of impacted tomatoes a bit.
There we go. Wasim Hernandez, he is the Director of Human Resources for Bebo Distributing Company based in Far, Texas. At your highest employment, how many folks you got working distribution? And then, of course, day-to-day, how far do you contract afterwards?
Yeah, permanent, I think we've got about 25 to 30 seats at the table, I guess. And seasonal, we can fluctuate from 50 employees to about 85. Just depends on what kind of programs we have set up with these retail stores or food service accounts.
Who are these folks that you find? Are they just on standby waiting for the phone to ring? So it's time again. We got to go back to the front lines over at Bebo.
Given the history of Bebo, them having been in the community for so many years, people always think we're hiring. So there's not a day that goes by that, we don't get 3 or 4 calls. Hey, I'm looking for work. Are you guys hiring? Or people just stop by and ask, can I fill out an application? And so we kind of keep that pipeline full where it's easy to just pick up the last couple applications that came in and recruit jobs. So it's just it's a mix of that, and then whenever we are tight on the recruitment side, we start promoting on ZipRecruiter and online to kind of get some foot traffic.
It's interesting. ZipRecruiter, that people would like have their profile there for you to pick them up. That would be processing, packing, and distributing on the agriculture side.
Yeah, and I think on the search side, it just kind of goes like people probably type in jobs McAllen, jobs Far Texas, or something like that, and I think that's the search engine just kind of helps them find what's close to them.
You've sent me pictures before, you on the front line. What are you processing when you're there? You got your hairnet and everything, all the gloves. That's in friega. Like you're working. What are you processing at that time?
I mean, we keep a pretty big catalog of products that we carry. We've got the assortment of chiles, right? So the green bell peppers and all the jalapenos, serranos, poblanos, Anaheim. We've got the squash too. We got soft squash and hard squash. So the Mex Gray, the zucchini, the yellow squash, and then on the hard squashes you got acorn, butternut, spaghetti squash, and pineapple. Pineapple is one of our recent additions. Just a couple 3-4 years ago, we started adding pineapple, and that has been growing exponentially on the fruit side. Yeah, so we've got that, and we got a seasonal program for strawberry, tomatillos. We've got tomatillos too. I feel like I'm missing a few other commodities in there, but
you pretty much named the entire produce section over at HEB.
At least the most common ones that have a high rotation. Yeah,
especially the chiles, all the different chiles. I can see you guys processing all that.
Oh, cucumbers, yes.
Wasim Hernandez with Bibble Distributing Company. One of the reasons that we are in San Antonio broadcasting at the Viva Fresh Expo, presented by the Texas International Growers Association. Thank you to Dante Galeazzi for having us over, and all our supporters for allowing us to do all these conversations. Friday is training day, the day we're broadcasting. Friday's training day. They're doing all sorts of workshops and seminars. What are you looking forward to gleaning from all these conversations? Is there one specific type of seminar that you're waiting for to get information on?
I haven't kept track of what the topics are. I just kind of show up on Friday and see which ones are available. A lot of it depends on meetings happening with potential clients or current clients that we just got to kind of sit down with. So it's a play by ear for me, but it's definitely great for learning opportunities. I'm sure they're gonna touch on AI. That's a big subject, and the water treaty and all that. So yeah, it'll be a good mix.
And knowing you personally as a friend, you're probably looking for the best breakfast option. This one has taquitos. This other conference room has danishes. This other one has. I'll see. There's the bacon and the egg. So you'll probably gravitate to the heavier breakfast and stuff.
The expo and the organizers always do a great job with all the offerings, the breakfast offerings.
What does it mean? I know Viva Fresh has been around for just under, I think, around a decade, just under a decade. I know you guys have been participating for a long time with them. What does Viva Fresh mean to you as far as acquiring new clients, business? I mean, on the business side, what do you guys expect?
Yeah, for sure. It's a great time to reconnect. There's a few meetings that are going to be important for pineapples specifically, and then just kind of aligning ourselves for the summer program, because a lot of these stores, what they do is, you have to kind of put in a bid for X amount of months, right? So the winter season's kind of coming to a close, and the summer season, which officially for some stores starts, late April, early May, is what's coming up. So just kind of getting squared up and understanding, what the expectations are, and building the relationship so that there's clear communication and clear expectations.
Have the previous Viva Fresh Expos, have they been useful in opening up doors with maybe, folks up northeast or places like that?
For sure, yeah. The organizers, I think at one point, Viva was a one of its kind show, because the whole point of the show, or the whole point of the organization, was bringing down the buyers and providing them a pass. I know at some point they were doing lodging, and I don't know if that's still the case, and they may have been including travel for the buyers to come and meet different suppliers. So it was unique, and it's been a great experience for sure to meet a lot of those guys.
I hear a lot of that from different folks in the industry. They're very grateful that TIPA, the International Growers, and Dante that created this opportunity to convene and provide a one-stop clearinghouse and bring them in, see if we can get some of these buyers for that. All right. Well, thank you again for your support, Joaquin.
Of course.
You be well, you behave.
Thank you, Sergio.
Right,
yeah, of course.
Joaquin Hernandez with Bevel Distributing Company. And again, thank you to Jimmy and Aquiles. All the gang over at Bevel. Thank you for allowing us to be at Viva Fresh in San Antonio with the Texas International Produce Association.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Tune in tonight as your Houston Astros host the St. Louis Cardinals. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV. Are you ready? History is unfolding, and you're listening to it on News Talk 710 KURV. Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville.
It's day 5 of the U.S. military blockade on Iran's ports. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 14 ships have been turned away in the Strait of Hormuz, and President Trump says he thinks the blockade could be more powerful than all the bombings halted by a ceasefire. He said last night in Las Vegas,
we can do whatever we want. And it should be ending pretty soon. It was perfect.
And Fox's Matt Finn reports from Dubai.
Here in the Middle East, we are monitoring the increasing potentiality that there will be peace talks in Pakistan. The president said yesterday on the White House lawn that if there is a deal made in Pakistan, he may go there himself.
Now, President Trump's also brokered a ceasefire in Lebanon.
The ceasefire started at midnight local time between the Israeli and Lebanese governments. It's Hezbollah militants in Lebanon that have been firing rockets into Israel. Their leaders say the ceasefire will be respected, but with their hands on the trigger, anticipating Israeli violations. Iran supports Hezbollah, and Israeli bombing in Lebanon is a sticking point in talks with the U.S. for a broader peace deal.
Fox's Chris Foster. Back to the president who went to Nevada to tout the bigger tax refunds Americans got on average this year, up 11% because of no more taxes on tips and overtime. The president says he helped a lot of workers.
The biggest tax refunds of their entire lives, and you see it. And I just want to say you're welcome. You're welcome.
Today, the president goes to Arizona for a Turning Point USA event, the same day the suspected gunman in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, TPS USA's leader, returns to court for another hearing. They stayed up late in the House, approving a 10-day extension to a controversial FISA provision on foreign surveillance. After attempts for longer extensions were voted down, House Speaker Mike Johnson said after at about 2 a.m.
We were very close tonight. There's some nuances with the language and some questions that need to be answered, and we'll get it done. The extension allows us the time to do that.
The Senate has until Monday to also approve that 10-day extension. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I've been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
It's been a week since the Artemis 2 moon mission ended, with the astronauts splashing down in the Pacific.
Taking questions about their experience Thursday, Artemis 2 Commander Reed Wiseman said the spacecraft did so well for them.
They could put the Artemis 3 Orion on the Space Launch System tomorrow and launch it, and the crew would be in great shape.
But NASA will go over every bit of this second mission to make sure, because as pilot Victor Glover said, although their flight is done, their work is not.
We are still making changes and learning ways that we're going to support the 30 and 45-day missions of Artemis 3, 4, 5. And so it's really important for us to keep practicing, keeping our heads in the game.
Artemis 3 is scheduled to fly next year. The astronauts on that mission have not yet been named. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
A singer is now a murder suspect. David Burke's been arrested in the death of a 14-year-old. His body was found in the trunk of a Tesla last September in Los Angeles. Burke, who's known as David, spelled D4VD, is being held in custody without bail. Now an update in the search for Nancy Guthrie. DNA evidence under new scrutiny more than 2 months after the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie believed kidnapped from her Arizona home.
The FBI making clear that this hair sample is not new. It was recovered from Nancy Guthrie's home 11 weeks ago, but they just are now in possession of it. You'll recall the Pima County Sheriff originally sent off DNA samples, including this hair, to a private lab in Florida instead of the FBI lab. And now, more than 2 months later, the FBI is confirming it has the hair sample and its DNA results from that private lab. So now FBI investigators are able to employ next generation forensic technology to analyze the sample further.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter. Stocks may keep rising today on Wall Street. Dow futures up more than 200 points. They're also rising for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 the morning after both closed at record highs, and oil prices down 4% this morning. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
And just like that, it's another finally Friday edition. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. And for family discovering especially the 7 o'clock broadcast, well, we're doing the live online broadcast on Facebook Live, X Live, YouTube Live, all morning long. Because as you can tell, we're not in the studio. I'm not in the studio. Got a lot of conversations we already had in the studio that will be participating in Viva Fresh Expo 2026. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz. Freddie is holding the fort down at HQ. He's at the mothership in Mission. I'm in San Antonio, Texas, with the Texas International Produce Association. Viva Fresh Expo 2026. We're at the enormous and gorgeous JW Marriott property. This is a chance for us to shine a light on South Texas growers and ag industry supporters and distributors. Viva Fresh, a very special get-together. So we're selling South Texas agriculture. So join us for all those conversations this morning on 710 KURV. In the meantime, being that this is the Valley's Morning News, appreciate you joining us. And you can also join us at Radio Para Mi, the free app. You can listen on your phone. So here's some of the news of the morning. Weeks after the U.S. Supreme Court said no to some of President Trump's tariffs, the federal government is launching an online portal for businesses to request tariff refunds, and that site should be open
Many
next
of the
week.
Trump administration's tariffs were struck down this year by the Supreme Court, opening the door for businesses to start submitting claims. The portal, called Consolidated Administration and Processing of Entries, or CAPE, will open for applications on April 20th. Tens of thousands of importers have already registered to receive refunds. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Local note, a sad report from a work site near Brownsville in Olmito. A worker with the Olmito water supply, 42-year-old Juan Antonio Delgado, died Wednesday while at a work site. He reportedly fell about 10 feet from a cage inside a drainage well, landed in the water below, and he was pronounced dead at the scene by first responders. It's 7:07 on Newstalk 710 KURV. There are competing plans at the state capitol to deal with property taxes as rates stay the same, or some politicians say, hey, we lowered your property tax. Yeah, the valuation, that's a different story, and people are opening up envelopes right now, discovering that their property miraculously is valued higher, which means they pay a higher
Dozens
tax.
of state lawmakers signing on to the governor's so-called taxpayer empowerment plan. One of them is State Rep Matt Shaheen. He likes the part about requiring cities to get 2/3 voter approval for property tax increases.
We don't have a lot of restrictions on growth of government and debt and the like, and I think, quite frankly, they're taking advantage of it.
He also praised the governor's plan for capping property appraisals, which will be done every 5 years. This will be a major issue heading into the next legislative session and the upcoming election.
It's Michael Porter with that report. And the Federal Aviation Administration is investigating after a report that 2 pilots, they were making animal noises while making a landing at Reagan National Airport. These are the animal noises.
You guys, you need to be professional pilots. Meow, 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 meow.
The pilots made cat and dog noises while talking to each other on an air traffic control channel on Sunday. The pilots were told to behave more professionally, but that demand was ignored. The audio clip featuring the 2 pilots went viral after the incident. The pilots could be disciplined for having a non-essential conversation during the approach to the airport. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know what they were saying with the meow meows and the barking they were doing.
Meow. You guys, you need to be professional pilots. Meow, 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 meow.
The pilots
And then get the doggy in there. All right. This is the morning news on Newstalk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez. We're coming to you from San Antonio at Viva Fresh Expo 2026. Let's check some of that AccuWeather for you. We got some big weather changes in store for the weekend. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Katerina joining us. I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. They provide us AccuWeather. Big thank you as well to all the crew over at Rivera's Machinery on the Expressway in Donna, providing us AccuWeather on the morning news. Okay, so today will be hot in the 90s. Same thing tomorrow, right, Jason? And then the cold front, when does it cross? How much rain comes with it this weekend, would you say?
Saturday night into Sunday is when it's going to start to change over for us. The bottom will drop out temperature-wise. Saturday mid-evening, we could see some action, and overnight throughout the day on Sunday. And even, it looks like most of the action is going to be later Sunday into Sunday evening and overnight into Monday as far as precipitation is concerned. And at this point, looks like we could get a few tenths in spots out of that. I'm certainly likely to see more in spots, but a few tenths would be a good baseline for us.
Okay, something to water the lawn a bit. Do you think, much like last weekend, we might get a cell or two with heavy rain somewhere? Or is it just going to be like a blanket of light shower activity?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be more of a lighter thing this time around versus the heavy that we got last time around. So, not to say that it's not possible.
That chance of rain on Monday and on Tuesday as well.
Yeah, still some lingering action going on, but certainly the opportunity there for some heavier rain in spots this week. Definitely some localized heavier spots, but I don't think it's going to be too widespread of a big hit, but certainly the opportunity is there.
Any red flags for Texas travel this weekend because of the cold front?
Let's see. Not looking too bad for Houston today or tonight. Into tomorrow, just a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Dallas today, listen, they could get some gusty winds and small hail with some of the thunderstorms tonight, and a brief shower or two tomorrow, and then just much cooler. San Antonio, showers and a thunderstorm late Sunday night into Monday afternoon. And tomorrow, increasingly windy with a thunderstorm as well during the day, but it doesn't look like anything strong to severe at this point.
Okay. And windy for us too, right? Up to 25?
Yeah,
Today,
15 to 25 throughout the day today and tonight. So just wind's cranking right along for us.
All right. And for all the gang, oh, by the way, let me repeat the forecast. The AccuWeather forecast from Jason, Katerina, and crew. Highs will be mid-90s, Mid-Valley, Western Valley. Today, tomorrow in the 90s, low 90s. And then, as Jason said, cold front, Sunday's highs will be in the 60s. Nice. So I'm guessing Sunday night to Monday morning, likely in the 50s. And, of course, the rain sometime late Saturday into Sunday. Let's see what we can get. I want to say morning to all the gang at Rotary, because they always have a crawfish boil. It's National Crawfish Day. Ever tried it?
No, I've seen them, though.
No?
Grabbed them out of the stream occasionally.
Yeah, there's one. I wonder who said, "Oh, that looks delicious. I need to boil some of that."
I used to work with a guy from New Orleans, and he was all about that.
Yeah. I haven't tried them. They look like roaches. I mean, I'm just going to say it. They look like roaches. I'm sorry. I know you guys at Rotary are probably mad at me for saying that. And it's we're celebrating a party appetizer today. It's cream cheese wrapped in nuts and stuff. It's National Cheese Ball Day.
Oh, that's
the
what cheese ball is?
Yeah. All right, pal. We'll check with you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Katerina on 710 KURV. Well, if you want some rain, we hope you get some this weekend. Saturday, Sunday should be the time for that. Your station for AccuWeather, Newstalk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and we're coming at you from the Texas International Produce Association VIVA Fresh EXPO 2026. And coming up in about 3-4 minutes, conversation with the chief of everything. This impressive show that is produced every single year and is shining a light on South Texas agriculture, selling it to the nation, selling it to the world. It is the Texas International Produce Association. So we got Dante Gagliazzi about 3 minutes away. So join us for that conversation with him. I do wish to acknowledge, before I give you a bit more news, I wish to acknowledge the first conversation we had this morning was with Bebo Distributors, Aquiles and Jimmy Garza. We had Joaquim Hernandez speaking on behalf of Bebo Distributors. Thank you for their participation. And the Mission Economic Development Corporation, Techlo, he's around here, Techno Man, he's around here somewhere. He'll be joining us, should be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. Lone Star Citrus Growers, Judd Flowers, the Florecitas, the Flowers family. God bless y'all. Thank you for joining us on the show today, making it possible for us to be here. We have several conversations lined up with the FAR International Bridge family and some of the folks that use the International Bridge at FAR. It's a main distribution source, a main pipeline for agriculture in and out of the U.S. is the FAR International Bridge. Those conversations coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. CIL Fresh. Yeah, you know Joaquin Spummer. CIL Fresh is the ag portion of the company. Big thank you as well to the Museum of South Texas History, CEO Francisco Guajardo. Frank, as I call him, the CEO. Yeah, he should be joining us. And also presenting a little bit of the ag-based history, just a little bit, because they got a lot that they feature, but just a little bit of the ag-based history that is available at the Museum of South Texas History. In the meantime, let me give you some more news. Power demand in the state of Texas is expected to skyrocket, as you can imagine, with the hot temperatures that are coming up, but also the data centers and chip manufacturing, everything that is on the way to
ERCOT
Texas.
released a tease of its upcoming forecast ahead of Friday morning's Public Utility Commission meeting. It's projecting over 367,000 megawatts of demand will be needed by 2032. That's more than 4 times the all-time peak demand record of 85,000 megawatts in August 2023. ERCOT president and CEO Pablo Vegas told state lawmakers in the past month and a half they've seen a big jump in the number of projects.
Over 80% of these, around 87%, are data centers. So there are other projects in here, traditional large industrial development projects.
Vegas says the transmission plan they have in place should make addressing this high demand doable.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And here, another example of how things are just changing. As yours truly, thanks to Aldo and the good Freddie that we have here, the evil Freddie that we have back in Mission who's running the show, our chief engineer, Mr. Casas, all the team here at KURV and Radio United, we're online. We're doing the social media stuff. Yeah, that's the way it is. And we appreciate you tuning in on the radio and online as well and reviewing the videos. Consumer habits have shifted from TV to social media. The parent company of home shopping TV channels QVC, HSN, filing for bankruptcy. And guess where they're moving everything? Yeah, social media. So join us on the social media, join us on the radio, join us online at Radio Para Mí, 710 KURV. We are at the Viva Fresh Expo 2026 in San Antonio. The one responsible for all of this, Dante Gagliazzi. Conversation with him next on 710 KURV.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Join us on the Friday morning news and the Sergio Show as we celebrate RGV agriculture live from San Antonio at the annual Texas International Produce Association Viva Fresh Expo. We'll be visiting folks on the front lines of produce, distribution, logistics as our ag family presents our harvest to the world. Join us from Viva Fresh in San Antonio on the radio and all KURV social media platforms. Broadcast made possible by Lone Star Citrus Growers and the Museum of South Texas History.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 369-369. That's HIM to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
News, traffic, weather, sports.
The Valley's morning news.
News Talk 710 KURV.
I want to say thank you to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. They provide us Astros baseball weeknights and weekends. They did okay against the Rockies. I think they are hosting St. Louis, right? I think it's the Cardinals that are next for the Astros. 6:10 broadcast tonight on 710 KURV, your station for Astros baseball. It's the annual Viva Fresh Expo, the convention of growers from the RGV, and everything put together by our friends at the Texas International Produce Association, TIPA. And the tip of the spear is Dante Gagliazzi. Dante, welcome back to the program. Congratulations on another show, and we're very honored to be a part of the program. Thank you to our many supporters who allow us to be in San Antonio doing the special broadcast. So for folks doing something else for a living, Dante, real quick, TIPA, Texas International Produce Association, like what is it? And Viva Fresh, what you hope to achieve at the Expo?
Yeah, well, first off, Sergio, thank you again for covering it and for doing this. It's a great honor of covering our region and covering what the fresh produce business is, because it is so important to the Valley. So in a nutshell, TIPA is we are the voice of fresh produce, right? So whether it's the farmers or the sheds or the seeds or the trucking company, if you touch fresh produce, you're part of that supply chain. That's what TIPA does, is we advocate, educate, promote, and represent, which is a lot of fancy words for saying we fight for you, we fight for we fight on government regulations, we fight on promotions, we fight to make sure consumption is happening. But first and foremost, we always fight to make sure that fresh produce is coming out of our fields and reaching the consumers throughout North America that they're intended for. And then Viva Fresh is our celebration of that fresh produce and trying to connect our farmers, our shippers, our importers with all of the buyers throughout North America, right? It's putting them with the grocery stores, putting them with the restaurants, the food service, the schools, and not just here in the U.S., but we have folks coming from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Canada. We've got international supply chains here, and they're all here for the purpose of trying to advance fresh produce.
As a result of this association, I must say that several folks in this region that we have a chance to speak to are very grateful for your efforts, for the association representing this region when it comes to all this produce and having a one-stop shop like a clearinghouse to get all this to market. Would you just, in the best guesstimate, like compared to what was it, like 9 years ago, 8, 9? How far back do we go back again with the Viva Fresh? The
Viva Fresh. This is going to be year 11 for us.
Okay, so compared to back then, how much has this association, the Viva Fresh Expo, the reaching out to potential clients up northeast, other parts of the country, retailers, restaurants, whatever, bring them down here and let them see what we have. How much do you think has TIPA, Viva Fresh, been able to extend the reach of local growers by 50%, by 100%? Do you have any idea how much business we've been able to pick up the past now 11 years?
Yeah, so I got to tell you that I can give you a couple numbers that I think might help tell the story. And the biggest number is going to be that when we first started this event 11 years ago, we had a little less than 1,000 people attend. Last year was our biggest show, and we had just under 3,000 people at the event. And we're expecting similar numbers here in San Antonio because we will have not only a great showing of folks from North America flying into Texas, but we're also going to have a lot more people from the Valley coming up to San Antonio because it's so much closer, right? It's only that 3.5, 4 hours versus the 5.5 to 6.5 hours up to Houston. So we're going to have a lot more people. In terms of growth, 10 years ago, I think the number was we were probably bringing in, I think, a little over 100,000 truckloads of fresh produce from Mexico. Now we bring in over 300,000 loads of fresh produce from Mexico. So to break that down, that's 36 million pounds of fresh produce every single day crossing the bridges from Mexico into the U.S. through Texas. So we are a huge supply point. And then, of course, our Texas growers, we're able to grow 8 to 10 months out of the year. We've got 2 major regions. And so our folks have seen the ability to pair with all of that growth. And to that point you talked about, it makes South Texas somewhere that our grocery stores can buy from 12 months out of the year. They don't have to go to California. They don't have to go to Florida for certain times. They can come to South Texas and get everything they need year round.
Dante Gagliazzi, Texas International Produce Association, TIPA, their Viva Fresh Expo taking place this weekend in San Antonio. Friday, the special broadcast we're doing is the Education Day, Seminar Day, the Expo, the actual convention hall with all the different booths that is on Saturday. How would you describe the state of, let's just look at the RGV, which is what we can access and see on a regular basis. I know you look at other numbers, but where are we? And maybe different crops are at a different position. Are we decreasing? Are we holding steady? Are we turning things around? How would you describe the state of Valley Ag?
Well, I think unfortunately, Sergio, what we're seeing a decrease right now. And sadly, the decrease is not because of lack of business. In fact, it's the opposite of that. Coming out of COVID, we saw some of the best interest in Texas grown produce that we'd seen in decades, right? And there was this overwhelming demand for a wide variety of the things that we could grow in the Valley. Unfortunately, what's happened is the water shortage has really decreased the amount of fresh produce that we can grow in South Texas. The number is that we are down something like 35, 40% of our total normal fruit and vegetable production.
The water situation at least with Mexico, thanks to President Trump and, of course, him, bending some arms on that one, maybe it's been resolved. Do you think we could turn things around in your future if we get the water that is required?
So in part, yes, that is certainly going to help, right? But the thing I'll say is that the water from Mexico only represents about a third of the water that we need in the valley. So that means we've got to come up with solutions for the other 2/3. And that, Sergio, is one of the big issues that my association has been working on with many other partners in the valley, is trying to improve the infrastructure. Because anybody who's driven around the valley knows we've still got a lot of ditches and canals out there that are just earth, right? I mean, it's basically a giant hole in the dirt. And that hole is not the most effective way for moving water. You've got seepage, you've got evaporation, you've got water loss. And so we really have got to make some investments there. And then we've also got to make investments in our overall water system. We are still designed from a water system based in the 40s and 50s. And let's face it, the population and even the valley doesn't look anything like it did 100 years ago. Heck, it doesn't look like anything it did 20 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Right? I mean, so we have got to keep up. And that means we've got to put our money down on these types of projects. And so we are proud to be part of several groups that are working to address this, because look, agriculture is just the canary in the coal mine. We need water if we're going to bring data centers. We need water if SpaceX is going to launch rockets once a week, which is their goal here in the next few years. And so we can't do any of that if we don't come up with these solutions and make these investments.
Lining canals, covering canals, maybe, distributing through pipe some of the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Desal, or any of these?
Yes, all of it.
Are they coming anytime soon, or what are we waiting?
They're coming, Sergio, but the problem is they're coming too little, too slow, right? I mean, look at that saltwater desalination project that's going on in Brownsville, right? I mean, they're still in the planning phases. They haven't broken ground on that project yet. And so that's still going to take years to build. The problem is we are in the shortage now. And so we have got to be making big projects all over the valley to address this issue. And so that's part of what we're trying to do, is encourage people to move faster. The drainage districts are behind this. The irrigation districts are behind it. Cities are behind it. But again, it comes down to funding, and it comes down to pooled resources. And so that's been part of what we're working on, is developing one voice for water in the valley.
Dante Gagliazzi, Texas International Produce Association, Viva Fresh. This is the big weekend for Texas growers. Does the Winter Garden participate with you as well? Like the okay, just area between here and San Antonio.
So we've got the Winter Garden, we got the Panhandle, we've got folks that are growing pumpkins out in West Texas. We've got guys doing veg and melons from East Texas. I've got greenhouses from the I-35 corridor. I've got produce and wholesale distributors from the big cities. I've got processors, guys that will take fruits and vegetables and they chop them and put them into bags or cans or salads. I mean, we've got the entire industry coming out here, Sergio, and representing everything beautiful that Texas does.
Beautiful. Even los tíos and tías that do the chile pequin, they have all these little shrubs to do chile pequin.
Bro, we've got El Gallo salsas out of Brownsville coming too, man. I mean, we are representing the supply chain as best we know how here in Texas.
The Friday, the education day for the expo. Tell me some of the topics come to mind on the seminars, the education side. What folks you guys are going to be talking about?
Yeah. So, man, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We've got 4 different sessions. One of the sessions is going to cover the importance of healthy eating. And what we do there is we don't just talk about the theory. We talk about people who have actually lived some of the efforts that we coordinate as our association. The Clean Eating Challenge, we're going to have several of our participants who have worked on a 6-month, 10-month project to just change some of their eating habits and what that's done for them personally. Another one of our topics is going to be, we're going to call it Beat the Buzzer. And so basically we're going to have the audience write questions down, put it in a hat, and we're going to pull the questions out, and we'll have 3 minutes to answer them, right? And that way then it shows like, look, we're not preparing the topics. We're not staging this. We want you guys to ask us real world impacts. And then myself and an agricultural economic advisor from Wells Fargo are going to go on stage last, and we'll have a couple of big topic questions, like how is the conflict in the Middle East affecting fresh produce in Texas and the region? So we are going to cover as wide a spectrum as we can. And Sergio, I'm going to put it all together. we are going to focus on the Valley, because you can go to produce shows all over the country, but we want people, when they come to Viva Fresh, to know that when they come to our produce show, not only do they meet produce people from Texas, they also get produce topics that are relevant to our region.
You're here. Yeah, all the ingredients for clean eating are one of those topics that you guys are talking about. We need to change the culture down here from cleaning your plate to clean eating. That way we can all be a little healthier.
I like it. I like it.
Right. Yeah, you can use that at the convention. All right, Pat. Well, anything else you want to share with us before I let you go?
Absolutely. So what I want to share is to everybody that's listening is, look, you cannot make too small of a change to your own eating habits, right? Even if it's one small thing a day. When you normally go for that candy bar, or you go for that salty bag of chips or something else, change that for grapes, change that for mangoes, change that for something. And you know what? You're going to do a couple great things. First thing is you're going to do something great for your body. But the second thing is you're going to do something great for the Valley and the communities and the people that work in our facilities and the people that bring that produce across. You are going to support the importance of Texas and the over 300,000 jobs involved in our state in this fresh produce industry.
Here. We wish you the best. And again, looking forward to seeing you again, brother. We'll see you in the halls.
Thank you. Likewise, my man.
Dante Gagliazzi with the Texas International Produce Association from San Antonio at the Viva Fresh Expo. We'll see you here.
We'll see you.
It's a celebration of South Texas and Texas agriculture, fruits and veggies and nuts and legumes, all that wonderful stuff. It is Viva Fresh Expo 2026. We're broadcasting this special edition of KURV programming. Morning News, the Sergio Show as well, from San Antonio at the JW Marriott. This is your radio station in South Texas for Houston Astros baseball. We've got sports up next on 710 KURV. Happy Friday.
Experience everything Bird Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh has to offer. Service, selection, and quality. Indulge yourself with bold design and set the standard with comfort and performance in a new 2026 Cadillac XT5 Luxury. Lease one now for just $549 per month during the Cadillac Spring Sales Event. More style, more innovation, more you. Make your move. Set yourself apart and discover a new standard of luxury ownership. Visit us online at birdogdencadillac.com or come in today to Bird Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh, where legends are made. Dale gas!
For peace of mind, for the sake of your family, for them at a time when, of course, you can't do anything and you don't nothing, as the Bible says that the dead know nothing. At a time when you can't do anything for them, as much as you love your family, the time to prepare for that moment when the Lord says to come home, to clock out, it's now. Michaela Funeral Home in Westaco, 60 plus years. Loving on Valley families at the time of separation, but also helping families all across South Texas pre-plan and prepay. My mom and dad did this for me. They pre-planned, they prepaid. And when the time came, yes, it hurts a lot. And I miss them tremendously. And it hurts a lot initially, for many days. Initially, when you got that separation, and then on top of that, the stress of having all these decisions that need to be made and having to pay for that funeral event as well. So the loving thing to do is to pre-plan and prepay for your immediate family who will deal with that loss, that separation. Call Carla McCaleb, dear friends of ours. Carla McCaleb at McCaleb Funeral Home. Someone from the McCaleb clan will come to you wherever you are, Brownsville, Harlingen, and McAllen area. Have a sit-down, pre-plan. Set up prepay. There you go. Put it on the shelf. Wait on the Lord. Carla McCaleb waiting for your call for that appointment. 956-650-2841.
On May 2nd, vote yes on Proposition A. Vote yes on repairs, upgrades, more teaching facilities, more security for our kids at McAllen ISD with no tax rate increase. Local attorney Jesse Barba.
Competition is wonderful. Let us compete on equal playing fields. Give us the funds to maintain buildings. Let us repair the roofs, put up the facilities we need so that we can compete with other programs. I have no problem with competition. McAllen has just landed a company from France coming in. There will be a subcontractor for the automobile industry. It will be high-tech jobs. That requires education. You don't need to be sending a signal to international companies telling them that we need less education and we're not investing in our system. We want to compete, and we want to show them that we can. We're every bit as intelligent as the people in Austin, Dallas, and Houston. It's the education to do it. Your tax rate will not increase. This is wonderful for the community.
Early vote is April 20th through the 28th. Election day is Saturday, May 2nd.
Paid for by Rosalinda Aguirre.
Tune in tonight as your Houston Astros host the St. Louis Cardinals. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV. Are you ready?
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Houston Astros had multiple chances to sweep the Colorado Rockies late in the game last night, but fell short. Final score 3-2. The Astros offense got off to a strong start with Yordan Alvarez and Joey Loperfido using RBI singles in the first for a 2-0 lead.
0-2. And Loperfido bloops this one in the shallow center, racing out Tovar, and that's going to drop between he and Doyle. That'll score Alvarez. Walker goes to third. A bloop RBI hit for Joey Loperfido, and it's 2-0 Astros. Loperfido 6-run batted in.
Colorado took over the next 4 innings as Tyler Freeman had RBIs in the 3rd and 5th, and Hunter Goodman added his 4th homer of the season in the 4th. Houston would get a big chance to take the lead in the 7th as a double from Jose Altuve was followed by 2 walks to load the bases. Carlos Correa would line out to end the inning. The rest of the game would go quiet as the Astros couldn't manage another hit. Next up, the Astros stay at home to host the St. Louis Cardinals for a 3-game series starting tonight. First pitch is set for 7:10 coverage on Space City Home Network. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Jet Nelson.
AccuWeather on News Talk 710 KURV. Yeah, it's the same old for the past several days. So highs will be in the mid-90s and tomorrow likely reaching 90. We do have big changes in weather, though. There is a cold front arriving like sometime late Saturday into Sunday. There is a chance for some rain. Maybe we'll see a thunder shower, but a blanket rain, light rain, kind of like last weekend. That's what AccuWeather is expecting. That'd be mostly for Sunday and a lingering chance going into Monday and Tuesday, says AccuWeather. Your station for AccuWeather is News Talk 710 KURV. The Border Bridge wait times as posted on our website, KURV.com. Again, these are wait times headed back to the U.S. And let me make sure I got the latest numbers. Brownsville, hour and a half at B&M, hour 15 at Gateway, 45 at Veterans. If you're headed back to the McAllen, Edinburgh Mission area, it's close to an hour at Ansel Lewis, same thing at Hidalgo, and about 40 minutes at the Far Bridge. Business news check of your money on News Talk 710 KURV. Special edition of the Valley's Morning News live from San Antonio at the VIVA Fresh Expo 2026. A reminder of an amazing value that awaits you if you make a phone call today to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Let's say you got some rain in the forecast. Some of you might be getting a bit antsy, nervous. Oh, crud, we need to keep somebody there on the weekend in case water comes down at us again. Be done with this issue. Get it fixed. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing can check, see if everything's okay at your commercial property roof. They'll do it for free. They do it because that's the way to meet you. Doesn't matter what type of business you have, a commercial strip, a warehouse, whatever it is. Trust Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing with almost 130 years in the business of commercial roofs. They've got the cutting-edge roof installation, repair and maintenance technology, and the advanced waterproofing solutions, precisely what you need. At a time when you get some heavy rain and it's found a way to get down at you and on your equipment and your customers, and you want to stop that. You want to prevent that. To do that, call Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, and get everything checked by experts who know what they're looking for. And that way you know what to do in your future. Again, that expert assessment, that check of your commercial roofing system, how healthy it is, yeah, that's free. It's an amazing value. So get that information. Call Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing at 956-655-6178.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
I love the experience of walking into a store that has stuff that interests me. As you're standing there, you can tell that these guys are passionate about what's happening there. That's exactly how it feels at South Texas Outdoor Kitchens. Over 10 manufacturers of different barbecue grills and smokers, and each one of those has another 10 in its lineup that does anything that you can imagine. Big Green Eggs, Traeger pellet grills, the selection is excellent and the experience is unlike anything else. I mean, I never knew I was going to enjoy smoking out of a Pits and Spits smoker. I never even heard of it, but what a game changer to my outdoor cooking arsenal. And endless aisles of spices, marinating devices, cutting boards, things you don't even know exist. Different appurtenances to help you discover that master outdoor chef that lives inside of you. You simply don't know what you don't know, but you can learn. Come walk the store and see what we've got going on at South Texas Outdoor Kitchens. South Texas Outdoor Kitchens on the expressway across from the Shrine.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Returning packages is a pain. Uber says it can fix that. The company announced it will pick up customer returns for retail purchases made on Uber Eats. The return pickup service works with items bought through the Uber Eats app from Best Buy, Dick's Sporting Goods, Petco, and more. CNBC reports a third of the people who have made an online return said that printing labels and finding packaging was stressful. Ford is recalling roughly 1.4 million F-150 trucks in the U.S. due to a software issue that may cause unexpected gear downshift. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said Ford was aware of 2 potentially related injuries and 1 accident. Boeing is hiring around 100 to 140 factory workers a week. That's the highest pace since 2024, as the U.S. jetmaker replaces retirees and increases staffing to support higher production rates and new models. Reuters reports Boeing's unionized factory workers now number more than 34,000 and are heading higher. Futures are moderately higher. That's Your Money Now.
Your 710 KURV exclusive AccuWeather with a forecast. Highs today, mid-90s. Lows tonight, mid-70s. Highs tomorrow, 90-ish. Got a cold front on the way. Perhaps some rain in the region as early as Saturday evening, going into Sunday as well. Blanket of rain, like light rain, moderate rain, Sunday. That's the call right now from AccuWeather. And check this out. Highs on Sunday, because it's a cold front. Highs on Sunday should be in the 60s. Nice. Bring it. You're listening to the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez. I am in San Antonio, Texas. It is VIVA Fresh EXPO 2026 in San Antonio. We're here with the Texas International Produce Association and many friends and extended family that we had conversations with. Coming up on the show, the Mission Economic Development Office, Lone Star Citrus Growers, the Far International Bridge, CIL Fresh, and the Museum of South Texas History, all here celebrating growers, distributors, and industry supporters. It's Viva Fresh Expo 2026 from San Antonio. Fox News is coming up.
Come into Volvo Cars Edinburgh today and find the Volvo that's right for you. Shop from a great selection of Volvos today. Get comfortable in the incredible new 2026 Volvo XC40 with all the technology and innovation that makes the Volvo brand stand out from the rest. Lease one today for just $399 a month. That's right, $399 a month. We shop the competition so you don't have to at Volvo Cars Edinburgh, a Bird Ogden Auto Group dealership. Dale gas!
You probably have all these ideas in your head of stuff you want to do at your land, things you need to fix, things you need to rearrange, earth that you need to move, fencing, things like that. What you need is Kubota. And what you should do is make time to visit with JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment today. They've got amazing savings available. $5,500 off select compact tractors from Kubota. It is the #1 compact tractor in the nation. It's Kubota. And you'll find a great inventory of that, plus other attachments, zero-turn mowers, other equipment that you need at your ranch, at your property to get the job done. It is Kubota. Stop by and visit with JP and Jeff. Now, everything that I mentioned here, you can get information at gokubota.com. The special that I mentioned, $5,500 off select compact tractors from Kubota, and 0% financing that is available if you qualify. All this through June 30th. For the Kubota equipment that you need to get the job done at your ranch, at your lease, at your property, it's Kubota at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the Cal at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Some people travel for adventure, some travel for business, and some travel for a bit of both. But they all know the best way from A to B is McAllen International Airport, where flying is always better with the Valley's only ticketless parking and best VIP lounge. And McAllen has more nonstop flights to the best destinations for adventure, business, and a bit of both. Like new daily nonstop service from McAllen to Monterrey, Mexico, for business, adventure, fun, and family. Save a day of business travel time with nonstop flights from McAllen to Austin, Houston, or Dallas. Then find adventure in our state's biggest cities, or experience the best of both worlds when you fly nonstop from McAllen to some of America's most popular convention and vacation cities, like Las Vegas, Orlando, and Phoenix. Travel is about more than going from A to B. It's about going above, beyond at McAllen International Airport. Fly McAllen at flymfe.com.
Everything you need to know to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us on News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz and the KURV crew. We are in San Antonio at VIVA Fresh EXPO 2026. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Will the blockade of Iranian ports by the U.S. Navy lead to a take-it-or-leave-it scenario for Iran at the peace table?
President Trump says the U.S. blockade might end up being more powerful than the bombing, as the blockade is estimated to be costing Iran up to hundreds of millions of dollars in losses per day. The president says, believe it or not, the U.S. is on better terms with Iran right now. He thinks a more permanent deal is coming, and the ceasefire may not need to be extended.
Fox's Matt Finn, 10 American scientists either missing or died under mysterious circumstances. President Trump.
I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half.
Meanwhile, Pope Leo celebrates Mass before 120,000 Catholics at a stadium in the port city of Douala in Cameroon, part of his trip to the African continent. America's listening to Fox News.
A couple of quick business notes. Spirit Airlines is reportedly facing trouble, and they might be in liquidation here pretty soon. Their bankruptcy plan is going off the rails because of the high price of fuel. And there's another write-up on how consumers, as they rely on more artificial intelligence for online shopping, there's a new tech report saying that websites are not ready for the rapidly changing technology. It's going to take a while to convert everything for the faster shopping experience. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. We're broadcasting from San Antonio at the Viva Fresh Expo 2026. Stick around for more great conversations on the importance, the economic impact. Jobs. Yes, still a huge part of the economy is South Texas agriculture. Viva Fresh Expo 2026 from San Antonio on 710 KURV. We're broadcasting today from San Antonio, Texas, the gorgeous, humongous, fancy JW Marriott property. It is Viva Fresh, and San Antonio, destination point for us. It seems to have everything. San Antonio is not perfect. You know why? Because they don't have El Pato. You get hungry for some of Mama's cooking, Abuelita's cooking. There's no El Pato here. But we have in the valley, all across the valley, all those delicious El Pato restaurants. You know where it is? Phone it in. That's what I do. In fact, I got them on speed dial. I got them saved in my phone. elpato.com, elpato.com. Order a bag full of delicious, made fresh breakfast tacos, the breakfast patos. Egg mixed with ham or cheese, egg mixed with chorizo. And in fact, last night, my baby, Noah, my 18-year-old, he's my baby. He had 2 chorizo and egg patos and potato, I think it was, and cheese. Yeah, he had 2 of those because they make breakfast all day long at El Pato. He had 2 of those for dinner last night. That's what he was craving. That's El Pato. And don't forget the big special right now at every El Pato restaurant. It is the enchiladas verdes, spicy tomatillo sauce, melted white cheese, shredded chicken, rice bean, and the drink. An amazing $6.99 at every El Pato restaurant.
Taxes too high? For over 20 years, Cat Tax has helped thousands of property owners lower their property taxes. Don't fall for competitors who don't even have an office here or rely on AI. You can't even speak to them on the phone. It's time to call Cat Tax. Customers switching from a competitor can take advantage of our low 10% contingency fee and lock in savings for the next 2 years. Cat Tax is a local company, so when you call us, you'll talk to a real human right here in the Valley, ready to help you every step of the way. And the best part? You pay absolutely nothing unless Cat Tax saves you money. Come see the Cat Tax difference today and ditch the out-of-town companies you can never get a hold of. Ditch the AI and talk to a real person. New to protesting property taxes, you can join the Cat Tax family today for just a 20% contingency fee. Cat Tax is Valley-owned, Valley-operated, and proud to serve our community, just like we have for the last 20 years. Best results, lowest fees? Call Cat Tax today. 956-631-7283. That's 631-7283. Again, 631-7283.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bird Ogden Infinity in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinities available now. Drive your own 2026 Infinity QX60 for just $469 a month. And all Infinities come available with the Infinity Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bird Ogden Infinity on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinities online at birdogdeninfinity.com.
On May 2nd, vote yes on Proposition A. Vote yes on repairs, upgrades, more teaching facilities, more security for our kids at McAllen ISD with no tax rate increase. Local attorney Jesse Barba.
Competition is wonderful. Let us compete on equal playing fields. Give us the funds to maintain buildings. Let us repair the roofs, put up the facilities we need so that we can compete with other programs. I have no problem with competition. McAllen has just landed a company from France coming in. There will be a subcontractor for the automobile industry. It will be high-tech jobs. That requires education. You don't need to be sending a signal to international companies telling them that we need less education and we're not investing in our system. We want to compete and we want to show them that we can. We're every bit as intelligent as the people in Austin, Dallas, and Houston. It's the education to do it. Your tax rate will not increase. This is wonderful for the community.
Early vote is April 20th through the 28th. Election day is Saturday, May 2nd.
Paid for by Rosalinda Aguirre.
The Valley knows the best talk and news is on 710 KURV and KURV.com.
AccuWeather says weather will change. That's the promise from AccuWeather. So today's mid-90s, tomorrow 90-ish tomorrow. Right now mid-70s. On Sunday, the highs should be only in the 60s. We got a cold front on the way, weather with a chance of rain. Porter Bridge wait times as posted on KURV.com. Go back to our website and see what the times are. These are times coming back to the U.S. So if you're coming back to the Mission, McAllen, Edinburgh area, it's 1 hour at San Luis, 1 hour at Far, and 1 hour at Hidalgo. It's about 40 minutes at the Far Bridge, and headed back to Brownsville. Good morning to Starbase and all the gang over at the Port of Brownsville. Hour and a half at B&M, hour 15 at Gateway, and it is about 45 minutes at Veterans. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV. We're broadcasting from San Antonio at the VIVA Fresh Expo 2026. The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Houston Astros had multiple chances to sweep the Colorado Rockies late in the game last night, but fell short. Final score 3-2. The Astros offense got off to a strong start with Yordan Alvarez and Joey Loperfido using RBI singles in the first for a 2-0 lead.
0-2. And Loperfido bloops this one in the shallow center, racing out Tovar, and that's going to drop between he and Doyle. That'll score Alvarez. Walker goes to third. A bloop RBI hit for Joey Loperfido, and it's 2-0 Astros. Loperfido 6-run batted in.
Colorado took over the next 4 innings as Tyler Freeman had RBIs in the 3rd and 5th, and Hunter Goodman added his 4th homer of the season in the 4th. Houston would get a big chance to take the lead in the 7th as a double from Jose Altuve was followed by 2 walks to load the bases. Carlos Correa would line out to end the inning. The rest of the game would go quiet as the Astros couldn't manage another hit. Next up, the Astros stay at home to host the St. Louis Cardinals for a 3-game series starting tonight. First pitch is set for 7:10 coverage on Space City Home Network. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Jet Nelson.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code STATION for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's STATION.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Don't miss it this Wednesday, bright and early, starting at 8 o'clock. The Sergio Show on location, broadcasting from the Weslaco State of the City, with special guest interviews, news, and much more. Wednesday morning starting at 8 on News Talk 710 KURV.
Tune in tonight as your Houston Astros host the St. Louis Cardinals. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV. Are you ready? History is unfolding, and you're listening to it on News Talk 710 KURV. Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville.
There could be more U.S.-Iran talks this weekend. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News in Pakistan, and President Trump's even suggested if there's going to be a deal to end the conflict, he might even go, saying in Las Vegas last night.
The war in Iran is going along swimmingly. We can do whatever we want.
As the U.S. military blockade on Iran's ports in the Strait of Hormuz continues a 5th day.
The president also announced a 10-day ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel, which does include Hezbollah. I talked to one of our producers in Jerusalem a short while ago. She says both sides seem to be complying right now. President Trump says he's also invited Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the president of Lebanon to the White House for a meeting as well.
Fox's Matt Finn in Dubai. And now something else the president calls serious stuff. 10 scientists have either gone missing or died the past few years.
But he did not reveal whether he believes that they are all connected. The most recent disappearance involves William Neil McCasland. McCasland oversaw some of the military's most advanced and highly classified research systems. His wife said he'd been experiencing what he called a mental fog before vanishing from his home, leaving behind his phone and prescription glasses. He previously worked on UFOs.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. At the House, a vote after 2 o'clock this morning.
Is there objection to the consideration of the bill?
And there wasn't any. So after a night of dissent, unanimous consent.
Without objection, the bill is engrossed, read a third time, and passed.
Approving just a 10-day extension of a controversial FISA provision on foreign surveillance considered a key anti-terror tool. Attempts for longer extensions were voted down.
Some conservatives are pushing deeper reforms. They want warrants for searches and prosecutions for alleged FISA infractions. But even the president's push for an 18-month bill did not convince some Republicans.
Fox's Chad Pergram. Democrats will soon have another member in the House, and Lilia Mejia won a special election in New Jersey to fill a vacant seat. America's listening to Fox.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
We mentioned President Trump in Las Vegas. He went there touting the bigger tax refunds more Americans have gotten.
We've sent out $30 billion more in refunds than at the same time last year. And
he cites no taxes on tips and overtime as a big reason for that in the bill Republicans passed in Congress. Today, the president goes to Arizona, attending a Turning Point USA event with the conservative group's leader, Erica Kirk, more than 7 months after her late husband, who had led TP USA, Charlie Kirk, was assassinated at a college campus event in Utah, where today the suspected gunman returns to court for another hearing. Fox's Chanley Painter reports.
The judge is actually expected to hear a couple of defense motions today, one on excluding cameras from the courtroom and another on delaying the preliminary hearing, which is currently set for May 18th. Now, the defense has attempted multiple times to ban cameras in an effort, they argue, to protect Tyler Robinson's right to a fair and impartial jury. Also, the defense is asking the judge to delay the preliminary hearing 6 months because they say they need more time to review the massive amounts of discovery. Prosecutors promising justice for Charlie Kirk object to any delay.
The defense also wants prosecutors held in contempt, alleging a gag order violation. Now another murder case.
The singer known as David, spelled D4VD, real name David Burke, is held without bail in Los Angeles in connection with the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her dismembered body was found in September in the trunk of an abandoned Tesla registered to Burke. Police say the remains had been in the car for weeks. The girl's family reported her missing in April of 2024 and say they believe she was in a relationship with Burke. No charges are filed. Police say the case will be presented to the LA County District Attorney's Office Monday for consideration.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. Now to the stock market. We could see a big surge at the opening bell. Dow futures up more than 500 points as oil prices go down, dropping now 10% this morning. WTI at $85 a barrel now. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Yeah, that studio that was just referenced right now, that would be in Mission, Texas, where producer Fred Cruz is holding down the fort. He's at the mothership, 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and I am in San Antonio with the rest of the KURV crew. We are online at 710 KURV. Facebook Live, X Live, YouTube Live, you know, all the social media stuff we got to do these days. We're broadcasting from VIVA Fresh EXPO 2026. It's the Texas International Produce Association. They're selling to the nation and selling to the world Texas agriculture, from the crops of South Texas, the winter garden and melons in West Texas, all those wonderful crops. Yeah, this is the convention put together by Dante Gagliazzi and his team. We have great conversations on the importance of agriculture to our economy. Stick around. We got Teclo Garcia, the Mission Economic Development Chief. He's here right now. He's cooling his heels. He'll be joining us here in just a little bit. In some of the headlines of the morning, a sad report from a work site near Brownsville in Olmito. A worker with the Olmito Water Supply, 42-year-old Juan Antonio Delgado, died Wednesday while at a work site at an accident. He reportedly fell about 10 feet from a cage inside a drainage well, landed in the water, and he was pronounced dead at the scene by first responders. It's 8:06 on the Valley's Morning News. Good morning to all the gang in international trade, customs brokers. Weeks after the U.S. Supreme Court said no to some of President Trump's tariffs after billions had been collected. So the federal government is launching an online portal for businesses to request tariff refunds. The site will be open early next week.
Many of the Trump administration's tariffs were struck down this year by the Supreme Court, opening the door for businesses to start submitting claims. The portal, called Consolidated Administration and Processing of Entries, or CAPE, will open for applications on April 20th. Tens of thousands of importers have already registered to receive refunds. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
It's 8:07 on the Valley's Morning News. Some Texas news. There are competing plans to reform the property tax system in Texas. The governor has a plan. The lieutenant governor has a plan. And those competing plans right now are being addressed at the state capitol.
Dozens of state lawmakers signing on to the governor's so-called taxpayer empowerment plan. One of them is State Rep Matt Shaheen. He likes the part about requiring cities to get 2/3 voter approval for property tax increases.
We don't have a lot of restrictions on growth of government and debt and the like, and I think, quite frankly, they're taking advantage of it.
He also praised the governor's plan for capping property appraisals, which will be done every 5 years. This will be a major issue heading into the next legislative session and the upcoming election.
That's Michael Board reporting. Governor Greg Abbott is threatening to cut state funding to 3 major cities unless they change policies that limit their police departments cooperating with immigration customs enforcement. So the governor is targeting Austin, Dallas, and Houston. All direct local police have been told not to participate with ICE, with immigration customs enforcement, during basic things like traffic stops where they find illegal aliens who have criminal records. It's 8:08 on the Valley's Morning News. And as more consumers rely on artificial intelligence for online shopping, there's a new tech report saying that websites are going to have a hard time keeping up.
AI traffic to the websites of U.S.-based retailers is up year over year by 269%, according to a new report by Adobe. The company says 39% of shoppers now report using AI in some way to help them make a purchase. Adobe says even with the surge in AI traffic, more than a quarter of websites have not been optimized for artificial intelligence that can connect retailers with potential customers. I'm Rory O'Neill.
And this note from the Census Bureau, you know how they take a look at the popular names, the babies. What are the more popular names for babies? Michael is at the top of the list of the most common popular names. According to a newly released report from the census, let's see here, U.S. names. Michael was number 1, and they said John, James, David, and Robert. There you go. That rounds out the top of the list. Time is 8:09 on News Talk 710 KURV. Time to catch up with AccuWeather. We got some big weather changes in store for the weekend. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina joining us. I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. They provide us AccuWeather. Big thank you as well to all the crew over at Rivera's Machinery on the Expressway in Donna, providing us AccuWeather on the morning news. Okay, so today will be hot in the 90s. Same thing tomorrow, right, Jason? And then the cold front, when does it cross? How much rain comes with it this weekend, would you say?
Saturday night into Sunday is when it's going to start to change over for us. The bottom will drop out temperature-wise. Saturday mid-evening, we could see some action, and overnight throughout the day on Sunday. And even, it looks like most of the action is going to be later Sunday into Sunday evening and overnight into Monday as far as precipitation is concerned. And at this point, it looks like we could get a few tenths in spots out of that. I'm certainly likely to see more in spots, but a few tenths would be a good baseline for us.
Okay, something to water the lawn a bit. Do you think, much like last weekend, we might get a cell or two with heavy rain somewhere? Or is it just going to be like a blanket of light shower activity
Yeah, it
that we
looks like
saw
it's
for the
going to be
most part
more of a
last week.
lighter thing this time around versus the heavy that we got last time around. So, not to
Well,
say
I
that
noticed that you
it's
put
not
into the
possible that,
forecast a chance of rain on Monday and on Tuesday as well.
yeah, still some lingering action going on, but, certainly the opportunity there for some heavier rain in spots this week. Definitely some localized heavier spots, but I don't think it's going to be too widespread of a big hit, but certainly the opportunity is there.
Any red flags for Texas travel this weekend because of the cold front?
Let's see. Not looking too bad for Houston today or tonight. Into tomorrow, just a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Dallas today. Listen, they could get some gusty winds and small hail with some of the thunderstorms tonight, and a brief shower or two tomorrow, and then just much cooler. San Antonio, showers and a thunderstorm late Sunday night into Monday afternoon. And tomorrow, increasingly windy with a thunderstorm as well during the day, but it doesn't look like anything strong to severe at this point.
Okay. And windy for us too, right? Up to 25?
Yeah,
today,
15
tomorrow.
to 25 throughout the day today and tonight. So just winds cranking right along for us.
All right. And for all the gang, oh, by the way, let me repeat the forecast. The AccuWeather forecast from Jason, Katerina, and crew. Highs will be mid-90s, Mid-Valley, Western Valley. Today, tomorrow in the 90s, low 90s. And then, as Jason said, cold front, Sunday's highs will be in the 60s. Nice. So I'm guessing Sunday night to Monday morning, likely in the 50s. And of course, the rain sometime late Saturday into Sunday. Let's see what we can get. I want to say morning to all the gang at Rotary, because they always have a crawfish boil. It's National Crawfish Day. Ever tried it?
No, I've
Crawfish?
seen them though.
No.
Grabbed them out of
Yeah.
the stream occasionally.
Yeah, there's one. I wonder who said, "Oh, that looks delicious. I need to boil some of that."
I used to work with a guy from New Orleans, and he was all about that.
Yeah, I haven't tried them. They look like roaches. I mean, I'm just going to say it. They look like roaches. I'm sorry. I know you guys at Rotary are probably mad at me for saying that. And it's we're celebrating a party appetizer today. It's cream cheese wrapped in nuts and stuff. It's National Cheese Ball Day.
Oh, that's
the
what cheese ball is?
Yeah. All right, pal. We'll check with you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Katerina on 710 KURV. We're broadcasting from San Antonio today. All morning, all the programming from KURV. It's the Viva Fresh Expo 2026. So stick around. Got a conversation with the chief from Mission Economic Development coming up in about 2 minutes. Meantime, let me give you these couple of headlines real quick. So the IRS, oh goody, they're using artificial intelligence to try to catch you. The agency is saying that the technology helps speed up reviews and identify any errors. Who makes the errors? You. See how much money they can get from you. And the parent company of home shopping TV channel QVC and HSN, they're filing for
You are
bankruptcy.
getting a $128 QVC price for $79.
QVC Group revealed the plan in filing with the SEC. This comes as consumer habits have shifted, with video platforms on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube entering the shopping space. QVC Group laid off 900 employees last year as it planned to shift to social platforms. The company said its aim is to emerge from bankruptcy within 90 days. I'm Michael Kastner.
Teclo Garcia from Mission EDC was telling me, yeah, so you can just imagine how it's playing out in bankruptcy court. Get the whole channel, QVC and Home Shopping Network at pennies on the dollar. Now, 2 cents, 3 cents, pennies on the... Actually, it's what we're doing now, Teclo, doing the whole social media broadcast. It kicked their butt. So guess where they're going now? Well, social media, right? That's where they're going to take all their... They're still around. They're just going to try to pivot everything and compete with everybody doing the same thing they're doing on social media. We're broadcasting from Viva Fresh Expo 2026 from the Texas International Produce Association. The director of Mission Economic Development, Teclo Garcia, up next on 710 KURV. Yes, Mission, Texas, as you can imagine. Citrus City, USA. Oranges, grapefruits, ruby reds. Yep, we're it in Mission when it comes to ag. So we'll talk about that next on the Valley's Morning News.
The eternal struggle. Too hot? Too cold? Forget about it. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC will make your home a true Goldilocks zone. Don't bear it alone when your fairy tale home feels like a nightmare gone wrong. Mighty Mike is your shining hero who will save the day with service that's not too early, not too late, but just right. Call Mighty Mike at 956-686-1353 or visit callmightymike.com. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC.
Get it right. Call Mighty Mike.
Mighty Mike to the rescue.
Just one call to solve it all.
Introducing the newest destination for luxury in the Rio Grande Valley, the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. Come visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power in a new C300 sedan. Get yours for just $561 a month for 36 months. Experience a feeling only 140 years of innovation can deliver. The choice is simple at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen, a Bert Ogden Auto Group dealership, a true triumph of luxury. Now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen.
More than just the headlines.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Time is 8:17. The Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. We're in San Antonio, people. You can join us at 710 KURV, Facebook and X Live, that'd be Twitter. You can join us at 710 KURV, YouTube as well. We're doing the online broadcast, the radio broadcast in celebration of South Texas agriculture, our growers, our distributors, all the support industry. It is on parade this weekend at VIVA Fresh EXPO 2026. Joining us now, one of our supporters. Want to say thank you to the gang at the Mission Economic Development Office. Teclo Garcia is the chief. One of our supporters made it possible for us to be here today. And, of course, undeniable ag with Queen Citriana and King Citrus, the parade, the royal court, all that. Yeah, it's, of course, representative of how important ag still is. Today.
One Dante Gagliassi was crowned this past year as a king in the Texas Citrus Festival.
Yeah.
So Dante runs Texas International Produce Association.
Wait, hang on a second. Go back. I thought you were kidding.
No, Dante.
Dante, he got crowned?
Yeah, he's a king.
Really?
Yeah.
For the Texas? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's news to me. I'm today old. Yeah. I'm supposed to know all this stuff.
You get to ride in one of the floats and everything.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What a beautiful tradition that is. A
Yeah,
century old, right?
It sure is.
Close to that, right?
No, hey, good to be here with you in San Antonio. Kind of a couple of things that come to mind, right now is that San Antonio is beginning their fiesta. Their biggest event of the year. And everyone's excited, and you see all the medals that people collect and all the ribbons and decorations are up, so people are ready for that. A lot of produce will be used during that time, right?
Yeah.
And then also, second thing always reminds me of the old Charlie Pride song. Is anybody going to San Antonio?
I guess since it is Fiesta Week, everybody's going to San Antonio. We need another song. Yeah.
We need another
song for that. Everybody going to San Antonio.
Yeah, Charlie Pride. No, great to be here. The Mission EDC is very supportive of the Texas International Produce Association, which is based in Mission, of all cities it can be. We're very proud of that, and we're very proud to work with Dante and Hector and the whole team there at Produce Association. And so we're here to support them and support our local organization, which is really a national organization now.
And to put what you said into perspective, they're based here in the Valley, based in Mission, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a state effort. Dante Gagliazzi, the Texas International Produce Association, they're here at Viva Fresh. They're not only, showing to Texas and national and international retailers and restaurants and all that what we have, not only in the Valley but Texas. He was telling you, look, you go to West Texas, they got these crops. You got melons over here in East Texas, and all over whatever it is that's a veggie, that's a legume, that's fruit, nuts that is produced in Texas, berries. It's from Texas. Is here on display,
right,
at Viva Fresh.
You have your Uvalde area, your Winter Garden area, East Texas, Floresville peanuts, and oranges in the Valley, and grapefruits, and it's all over Texas. A big part of. But I even more so, Sergio, there's a huge delegation here at this conference, and there has been ever since I've been coming here from Mexico, because there's a lot of Mexican growers and U.S. interests who own farms and grow produce year round in Mexico. It's an extremely important part of the market, and this conference is what Mexico provides the U.S. Roughly 2/3 of all the vegetables consumed in the U.S. come from Mexico, and then about half of all the fruits and nuts that are consumed in the U.S. come from Mexico. And so that's a really, really important thing. And you see a lot of growers and farm owners and distributors from Mexico here, a lot of transport companies, extremely important to the industry, and to understand what they go through to feed us, during the year.
Teclo Garcia, the Director of Mission Economic Development, you're providing a great tease for the entry point with all the veggies and fruits and all the produce coming in from Mexico. Where do they cross? The Far International Bridge.
Yeah,
at the moment.
They cross in Far, and the primary crossings for produce from Mexico to the U.S. is Far and Nogales, Arizona. Laredo has stepped up here recently, and they're doing billions a year in produce as well, and they're catching up to Far and Nogales. So really, those 3 points is, and the way I understand it, and when I was working closer with produce, is that avocados are the number one produce item that is being imported into the U.S. to the tune of billions of dollars every year. Second is tomatoes, and then third are the berries. They categorize blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries together. Those 3 provide a huge amount of the produce value that's brought from Mexico into the U.S.
Looking at those aguacates, the avocados.
Yeah, don't look at the price now.
Because there's more on the way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you teased another segment coming up. CIL Fresh, Joaquin Spamer and his people.
Yeah.
They've been expanding warehousing, refrigeration, storage, and relationships to bring in a lot more avocados through the Far International Bridge, which begs a question. At San Luis, the international bridge will go full tilt commercial pretty soon.
Yep, pretty soon.
In Mission, Texas. Will we have some ag come through there, or is it more for industry components?
Yeah, it would be rare if produce would come through there. Far will be the primary bridge for produce, and that's for a couple of reasons. But the primary reason is because of the produce inspectors and the machinery and refrigeration that has to take place when you inspect trucks. Imagine every time you bring a truckload of broccoli or another refrigerated item, you have to unload the vehicle to inspect it, right? And then you have to have ag guys around and even bug guys, right? And so they're all based and working Far, and I think that system's going to work well. The Far Bridge does a great job in moving produce. There's plenty more business on the dry goods side, whether it's electronic components or auto parts, wherever that Anzaduas can help handle. But yeah, Far does a good job with it, and they'll continue to handle the vast majority of produce coming from Mexico into the U.S.
You eating your fruits and veggies regularly?
I do.
Not the canned version, but the fresh stuff.
Yeah, no, I do.
All right.
Broccoli.
What do you like? What's your favorite?
Broccoli, steamed broccoli's up there. Right,
not with all the cheese and butter on it.
No,
right?
no, not Luby style. No, regular. Regular.
Oh, you just said one of my favorite words, Luby. Oh.
No, I eat a lot of fruit, apples, and a lot of berries. We always have berries in the fridge, and those come from Central Mexico.
Oh, those colorful
Yep.
berries. Teclo Garcia, he's the leader of Mission Economic Development. We're broadcasting from VIVA Fresh EXPO 2026. We have Texas growers, distributors, the ag industry support services on display 11 years now. And they've done a lot in 11 years to propel Texas agriculture to the market, Midwest, Northeast, other parts of the world.
It's big. For Mission, Mission is the home of the ruby red grapefruit. That's where it was created. So we're really proud of that. We have Mission has a citrus festival, kind of celebrating the citrus heritage. How Mission was kind of grew up as a city based on agriculture. Wonderful citrus, probably the nation's largest citrus firm. It owns thousands of acres in and around Mission. is has a lot of personnel and jobs in Mission. Also, the Rio Grande Juice Company, which is owned by Mission, Wonderful Citrus. They operate and make juice in Mission. So we've got a lot of ties. There's other folks, in Mission, not as large, voluminous like FAR, but there are several other firms in Mission, like Ivan Bigtree and a few others, Papaya Place and a few others in our industrial area, and also west of downtown. There's several distribution and firms, transport companies for produce. So it plays a big part in Mission's economy. Still does, not as large as it used to. Mission's diversified its economy well, and of course, things happen when there's a lot of growth. And as you know, by driving around the valley, you'll see big chunks of citrus farms, orchards that have been bulldozed to make room for growth, for housing and new strip centers and so
the
forth.
The encroachment of homes and industry as the valley economy is changing, and of course you're contributing to that at the Mission Economic Development. It's your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. No, actually, the oranges.
No. So the citrus industry in our area, which by the way, I'm teasing another conversation coming up here in just a little bit. Judd Flowers, good folks over at the Lone Star Citrus Growers. He took a quick inventory, gave me history on the evolution of citrus. 710 KURV, our sister stations. We broadcast from an old Benson family property, the Benson Powerhouse Citrus Orchard family. They made their money in citrus, the Benson family. You guys who are new to the area, of course, remember Lloyd Benson? Yeah, he's from Mission, Texas, the Benson family. That building that we're broadcasting from, an old house that was surrounded by orchards and orchards of oranges, 60,000 acres at one time. That's what Judd told me. We're down to less than a fourth of that because of freezes, several freezing
freezes, right.
You know what's beautiful, though? As I was on my way to record Judd Flowers, who we will feature here in a little bit from Lone Star Citrus Growers, there were several acres of small trees wrapped in plastic. The new trees, the new orange trees that in 5 years will provide fruit. So it's a turnaround. There are growers who are investing in the long-term survival and rebirth of South Texas citrus. It's out there. It's taking place.
It's out there, and in addition to that, moving forward on some of the harvesting techniques and the technology they're used to make these farms more efficient and can grow more. We've had conversations with farms who have told us, hey, we'd like to start using AI in our processes, and so that's a good thing. These farmers and orchard growers, they're not just sitting on their laurels thinking, we'll just do the same thing we've been doing the last 100 years. No, things have changed, and they see that, and they're moving forward with the right technology to make themselves more efficient.
And you know what's beautiful to see with the Flowers family specifically? They're one of those families where the younger generation is actually picking up the flag and running with it. There is hope that they will continue the growth of Lone Star Citrus Growers.
Yeah,
the younger generation.
The Flowers family, right?
Yeah, the Flowers family.
If you remember, a big part of landowners, right, in Mission and Points West, were the Showers family. So you got the Flowers, you got the Showers. What else is next?
Yeah, what was it? April Showers, bring May flowers, something like that. Yeah. Did you think of maybe the impact? I know the footprint is huge still for ag and Mission, like job creation, maybe economic impact.
Yeah, all the studies that have been done don't break it down by city, right? So there's usually regional studies, and the agriculture industry is in the billions of dollars. Economic impact. Every year. There's thousands of jobs. Dedicated in the county, Hidalgo County, to not just citrus, but also produce. As you know, we still grow carrots and cabbage and a lot of other vegetables in the valley, and then we have citrus as well. So there's a lot of things, and it's more than that. You have a lot of these citrus, these places that provide citrus boxes and, gift boxes. And, that's a whole industry as well. People send those all over the world to family members, people who are Winter Texans who are tourists. They buy those, they take them back with them.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of impact with the citrus and agriculture industries in the valley.
Teco Garcia, Director of Mission Economic Development. Is there a veggie that you won't eat, that you don't like spinach or cabbage or turnips?
Yeah, sprouts.
those,
I mean, I don't care for that.
There's not enough cheese and butter to fix sprouts for you, right?
I like just about all the veggies. I really don't like the black raspberries and blackberries. Man.
Blackberries, no, I don't understand.
Too many seeds.
I don't understand. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, too many seeds.
Yeah, at our age, where our teeth are like separating and the gums going backwards, yeah, it's like they get stuck in between.
No joke.
On the labor side, did you ever go to La Pizca? Were you one of those families that went north and worked?
Yeah. No, I several years in my childhood, maybe 5 years, we were going to Ohio to the beet fields and working the beet fields, and even beet. Yeah, Vitavel.
I like.
And I don't care for beets.
Oh, you don't?
No, man.
Yeah.
But
I like to juice it.
Yeah, the juice.
I like them pickled as well.
But they even had a little saco for me for cotton where I grew up near San Antonio. I remember them making me a little burlap sack so I could start picking cotton. I was probably like 3 or 4 years old. I didn't know anything about child labor and all that, but I was thinking, geez, I'm gonna have to start working right now.
Well,
but they also, made me a asadón, a hoe. So we went up to Ohio. They wouldn't let us work, but I was a little kid, so they just kind of
too late to collect now. Too late
now.
You have to collect for your mom and dad. Hey, thanks for being part of the team that bring us over here.
No, of course. This is really important. I'm glad you're here. I think it sends a really strong message that agriculture, produce, fruit, it's all still part of the valley's economy. Absolutely. And a strong part of it. And it's also our heritage.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Teco Garcia, Director of Mission Economic Development. We're, extremely blessed, proud that we're here with the Texas International Produce Association, Dante Galeazzi and his team. It is Viva Fresh Expo 2026 from the JW Marriott in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. And coming up in a little bit, as I mentioned, Judd Flowers with Lone Star Citrus Growers. So take a look at his family, his operation coming up. Yeah, they're participating here as well. That's next on News Talk 710 KURV. A reminder that you are not alone, my friend. You're not alone. I know you got huerquillos, to take care of your kids and all the activities and just family stuff. And then you got your mom and dad. And mom and dad, it's life, man. They need to go to the doctor more often. They need pharmacy, visits, go pick this, that, and the other. And they're a little slow, a little weaker. You are not alone. What you need to do is call Healthcare Unlimited and allow them to be part of the team that helps take care of your precious mom and dad. They were there for me years ago when my mom and dad were with me here in South Texas. Call Healthcare Unlimited. They can be part of the team that help with the day-to-day, just a little chores of cleaning up the house, making a little bit of food, the bath, putting on the shirt, buttoning, putting socks on, just little things that you and I take for granted. They're really hard for mom and dad to do. Healthcare Unlimited can help you with that. They were part of that team that helped me take care of my mom and dad. They can help you too. So give them a call. You are not alone, my friend. And these folks at Healthcare Unlimited are godly people, loving people, have a special heart. 956-994-9911. Call Healthcare Unlimited.
Come Come into Genesis of Harlingen today and soak up the feeling of the dynamic yet elegant design and cutting-edge technology. Visit today and choose from a great selection like a 2026 Genesis GV70. Lease one today for $499 a month for 24 months. Come see where refined sophistication meets powerful innovation at Genesis of Harlingen at 8521 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen. Shop from the entire line of Genesis online at genesisofharlingen.com. Genesis of Harlingen, a Bert Ogden Auto Group dealership.
Join us on the Friday Morning News and the Sergio Show as we celebrate RGV agriculture. Live from San Antonio at the annual Texas International Produce Association VIVA Fresh EXPO. We'll be visiting folks on the front lines of produce, distribution, logistics, as our ag family presents our harvest to the world. Join us from Viva Fresh in San Antonio on the radio and all KURV social media platforms. Broadcast made possible by CIL Fresh and Bebo Distributors.
Catch up with today's headlines and discuss today's headlines on the 956 Drive Home with Zach Cantu. Later this afternoon at 4 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Para Me app.
The beautiful enchiladas verdes. The special is back at El Pato. Only $6.99 for a limited time. With a side of those ranchero beans, the Mexican rice, and the drink. It's only $6.99. That's an amazing offer. Corn tortillas all rolled up with a seasoned shredded chicken, slathered with that gorgeous green spicy tomatillo sauce and the beautiful melted white cheese. Oh, you could just taste them right now. Enchiladas verdes, rice, beans, and the drink, only $6.99. Stack up those plates at all El Pato restaurants. Plus the daily specials that are only $5.99. Different day of the week. Could be carne guisada plates, chicken enchilada plates, taquitos mexicanos, chicken guisado. It tastes so good. It smells so good. It's beautiful. It's our food. Rio Grande Valley Tex-Mex. You know you're hungry. Stop by El Pato. Phone it in like I do or order online at elpato.com. Enchiladas verdes, ranchero beans, the Mexican rice, and the drink. Only $6.99 for a limited time.
The Houston Astros had multiple chances to sweep the Colorado Rockies late in the game last night, but fell short. Final score 3-2. The Astros offense got off to a strong start with Yordan Alvarez and Joey Loperfido using RBI singles in the first for a 2-0 lead.
0-2. And Loperfido bloops this one in the shallow center, racing out Tovar, and that's going to drop between he and Doyle. That'll score Alvarez. Walker goes to third. A bloop RBI hit for Joey Loperfido, and it's 2-0 Astros. Loperfido 6-run batted in.
Colorado took over the next 4 innings as Tyler Freeman had RBIs in the 3rd and 5th, and Hunter Goodman added his 4th homer of the season in the 4th. Houston would get a big chance to take the lead in the 7th as a double from Jose Altuve was followed by 2 walks to load the bases. Carlos Correa would line out to end the inning. The rest of the game would go quiet as the Astros couldn't manage another hit. Next up, the Astros stay at home to host the St. Louis Cardinals for a 3-game series starting tonight. First pitch is set for 7:10 coverage on Space City Home Network. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Jet Nelson.
AccuWeather says highs today, mid-90s. It's going to be hot, mid to upper 90s. Tomorrow, 90-ish for highs. Got a cold front on the way. So Sunday, highs will be in the 60s. We have a chance of shower activity, some rain activity starting late tomorrow, Saturday, and definitely Sunday. There should be like a blanket of rain in the area. Border Bridge wait times. The Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Let me get the latest numbers. 8 o'clock number. So if you're headed back to Brownsville, hour and a half at B&M, same thing at Gateway, and same thing at the Veterans Bridge. It's an hour and a half. And headed back to McAllen Mission, Edinburgh. It's 35 minutes to an hour at all 3 bridges for McAllen Mission, Edinburgh. We're broadcasting 710 KURV, all our morning news and talk programming from the Texas International Produce Association Viva Fresh Expo 2026 at the JW Marriott in San Antonio. Stick around. We got Judd Flowers and family from the Lone Star Citrus Growers next on 710 KURV.
Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax. Are your property taxes too high? Well, you can kiss that money goodbye until you call cat tax. Oh yeah, we save money for you. Cat tax, cat tax. Call cat tax, cat tax. No savings,
no fees.
Call 631-SAVE. Cat tax, cat tax. Cat tax, cat tax.
If your property taxes are too high, you don't have to just kiss your money goodbye. Not with CAD Tax on your side. CAD Tax, they do all the work and you save all that money. If they don't win, you don't pay. No savings, no fee. There's nothing to lose. That's the CAD Tax guarantee. Call 631-SAVE.
No savings,
no fee.
That's a written guarantee. Cat tax, cat tax. Cat tax, cat tax.
Some people travel for adventure, some travel for business, and some travel for a bit of both. But they all know the best way from A to B is McAllen International Airport, where flying is always better with the Valley's only ticketless parking and best VIP lounge. And McAllen has more nonstop flights to the best destinations for adventure, business, and a bit of both. Like new daily nonstop service from McAllen to Monterrey, Mexico, for business, adventure, fun, and family. Save a day of business travel time with nonstop flights from McAllen to Austin, Houston, or Dallas. Then find adventure in our state's biggest cities, or experience the best of both worlds when you fly nonstop from McAllen to some of America's most popular convention and vacation cities, like Las Vegas, Orlando, and Phoenix. Travel is about more than going from A to B. It's about going above, beyond, at McAllen International Airport. Fly McAllen at flymfe.com.
For us, it's an honor to participate in our way with the Texas International Produce Association, TIPA, as we call it at the studio. And a big thanks to Dante and all the gang for having us over again. And I want to say thank you to our many supporters who make it possible for KURV to be broadcasting from San Antonio at the VIVA Fresh, the annual expo, the conference. It's education for our growers and a chance for our growers to sell to the world, sell to Texas, to the nation, sell to the world. And one of our supporters, I'm so honored to be here with Judd Flowers. We're at his office. This is a recorded conversation at the Lone Star Citrus Growers. Judd Flowers has been in the business for just a little bit. Let's go back to the history, man. You were just is mind-blowing what you were telling me. When you started, let's put that on the calendar, and compare the size of the industry, citrus, orchards, acres back then, compared to what we have right now.
Well, I got started in the business in the late 70s, and at that time there were over 60,000 acres of citrus planted from one end of the valley to the other. Yeah. And there were 26 different packing sheds, mostly families, that were involved in harvesting and processing and shipping that fruit around the country and around the world.
You said what was it, 10 million cartons is what was pumped out?
That's what we were doing back then, about 10 million cartons. But at that time, there were 3 different juice plants in the valley too. Okay. And so there was an underlying juice business that kind of supported part of what was going on.
Okay. So 26 packing sheds, 10 million cartons, 65,000 acres, late 70s. When you were a young pup, you got into the business. Is this like a family business for you, something you inherited or something you started back in the late 70s?
No, I didn't inherit it. We started in the business in the late 70s, and then I worked for different people across my career, but we founded this place in 2007. My kids were just coming out of college about that time, and I still had some gas in the tank, so we scratched this place together, and we've been going for almost 20 years now.
You texted me like a quick 30-second elevator pitch, like a description of Lone Star Citrus Growers. Like describe Lone Star Citrus Growers for people working for a living, tuning in to KURV, doing other stuff for a living. What is Lone Star Citrus Growers?
Well, Lone Star Citrus is a native, family-owned business, independent, totally integrated from planting seeds to growing the orchards to packing the fruit and squeezing the ones that we can't put in the box. So we do everything from the beginning to the end.
How much of the fruit makes it to market? Because it's got to be pretty, right? I was told this a long time ago by other folks in like melons and other industry. It's got to look real good. So a lot of it doesn't make it to market. So how much of it? Like 50% or more, or what?
Well, in a typical year, we'll pack 65 to 70% of the fruit, and the rest is eliminated due to either blemishes or size. But in a normal year, I don't know exactly what that is, but it rains sometimes in a normal year. So when we have the blessing of timely rains, we can pack 65, 70% of the fruit, and the rest, 35% might go to juice.
Okay. Now, before I start wiggling into other questions, let me do the comparison. Going back to what you told me, late 70s when you and your family got started, and the region in this area, which I would imagine just Hidalgo County, right? That's where we must have.
No, it goes to Cameron County as well, yeah.
So valley-wide, 26 packing sheds, right? The industry produced about 10 million cartons, 65,000 acres back then. Where are we right now?
Well, I don't think we have an accurate count of exactly how many acres there are, but somewhere between 12 to 15,000 is probably what we have right now. Okay. But most of it has been planted since the what we call the Valentine's Day Massacre in 21. We had, as you remember, a major freeze back that time where we lost thousands and thousands of trees, and that brought the acreage down from the mid-20s to about what it is now. Okay. But people are planting, and like I said earlier, there's been more trees planted in the last 36 months than there has been in the last 36 years. So citrus industry is alive and well.
Excellent. It was good to hear. One of the conversations I had with one of our supporters that sent us over to VIVA Fresh in San Antonio had been mentioning the encroachment of more neighborhoods. The valley's just growing. We got more industry, more companies. It's just amazing the transformation that's taking place in the region. But the turnaround is, at least in citrus. I mean, I was driving over here to this conversation with Judd Flowers. And there were several acres where there were like these plastic wrapped little trees out there. Those are orange orchards that are in the
grapefruit trees. Sure, yeah. But the modern technology for most people is to use a plastic mesh bag to cover the baby trees when we first set them out, because of the advent of the Asian citrus psyllid, which transmits the greening disease. And when a tree is in its youngest stage, you need to protect it so that it doesn't get infected from the disease. And we cover those trees with a mesh bag that lets sunlight in and air and everything, but it doesn't allow the tree to be attacked by any kind of insect.
Yeah. Are we beyond any quarantine now on citrus, or is that still active in some patches around here in the county?
Well, the ongoing quarantines are relative to the Mexican fruit fly.
Secretary Brooke Rollins, the Ag Secretary for the Trump administration, was here at your office here just a few weeks ago. Great. We had the governor here as well. Back then, the topic was Mexico not delivering its water, and of course the state of the industry as well. What came of those conversations? Because as far as the Mexican water debt issue, like President Trump said on the immigration stuff, we don't need new laws. We just need a new president. So we have Mexico crying uncle, which I guess we're still calculating whether the water was delivered or not, and also the overall status of the citrus industry. What would you say?
Well, I think we're still in a rebuilding mode. Most of the trees that have been planted in the last several years are yet to be producing. So the tonnage that's going to be coming out of the valley over the next several years will be increasing.
How long does it take for, like those young trees that we saw that were, I'd say about 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall, how many years does it take before they get fruit?
Well, in first place, to create a tree from the time you plant a rootstock seed, to create the tree ready to be planted in the field usually takes 17 to 20 months. And then after it gets in the field, another 3 years or 36 months. So from the beginning to your first production is 5 years.
5 years. So many things could happen in 5 years.
Can happen. Not all of them are bad.
Judd Flowers is with Lone Star Citrus Growers, one of the supporters making it possible for KURV to be broadcasting from the TIPA VIVA Fresh, the expo taking place in San Antonio. We're here with the International Produce Association and Dante Gagliazzi and all the good folks getting education on a Friday when we're doing the broadcast. And Saturday is the big expo. They're at the real pretty Hyatt location in San Antonio. Now, how many people, I guess, just for you, like how many people are you in your employ, and how does that vary based on harvest season and packing and all that?
Well, we care for around 3,000 acres. So for a year-round employment, including the staff here at the shed, we have around 50 employees. But that swells to about 500 when the season starts and we start harvesting and we have the shed full of people and they're in production every day. So it's a big payroll.
The Viva Fresh get-together that happens annually, what does it mean for you, your crew, your business? Are you able to land more business with, I don't know, store chains up Northeast or maybe even international customers? How does that benefit you?
Well, you know, Dante's done a great job of building that convention every year, and they made a move several years ago to provide incentives for the retailers to attend the conference. And I think that's made a big impact on not just the citrus industry, but of course the produce industry as well, because a lot of the retailers will attend the show and have an opportunity to discuss issues with the producers and the processors, and together it makes for a better understanding between the two, and it helps us expand the business.
On the international front, Judd, like everything from tariffs or potential tariffs or duties, and of course the subsidies that other nations provide for their fruit and things like that. How do you negotiate those headwinds?
The primary, I would say, competitors in North America are a little bit leftovers from the Florida industry and some in California. The other producing areas in the world are in the southern hemisphere, so their harvest season is opposite ours. Okay. So there's you might say, a seasonal influence where our competitors are busy growing their crop while we're harvesting our crop, and vice versa. We do the same thing when they're growing. Why is
Our fruit so sweet? Because, I mean, I tear into a California orange and navel. It doesn't compare to the candy that we're serving up here in South Texas.
Well, you're in God's country now. That's the primary difference. But generally, we have an alluvial soil that is composed of centuries and centuries of the Rio Grande flooding and laying layer after layer of soil in our geographical area. And then we're dominated by a Gulf breeze that keeps away things like freezes. And so it's the only arrangement of this soil type and this water composition and the climatic conditions on the earth that produce what we're able to do. And it's recognized by the produce industry in the world as the finest grapefruit can be grown.
I want to make sure and squeeze in your family. Now, I made sure to, in the video that you'll see on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, you'll see the backdrop, and we've got a lot of family pictures. You got the royal court back here. The Citrus Fiesta in Mission, a century-old, I guess, tradition that we have here in Mission, Texas. Beautiful, the coronation of King Citrus and Queen Citrus and all the different veggies and fruits, ag that's represented, and it's just a beautiful tradition. You've got plenty of participating family there. I just want to give you a chance to mention it.
Yeah, I've been participating in the Citrus Fiesta since my career. And I had the privilege of being king a number of years ago. And over the years, we've had in our family, I've had my daughter was Queen Citriana one time. I have a niece that was in the court at one time. My granddaughter recently, in this past extravaganza, won Queen Citriana to reign for next year. So it's a family business, and I have 2 sons in the business, and my wife oversees some of the administrative duties in the office. So it's a family connection.
It's good to hear that the family has picked up the ball. They're running with it, because I hear on the other side, well, my kids don't want anything to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, my kids were raised in the business, and so the citrus business has been very, very good to us. And regardless of all the problems that come along, we're very happy to be involved.
Yeah. And we continue to pray for the turnaround. More acres, more oranges, more grapefruit in South Texas. Thank you for your support, Judd.
Absolutely.
And call anytime. You know where your home is, over at KURV.
My pleasure.
Yes, sir. Judd Flowers with Lone Star Citrus Growers, 710 KURV, from the Texas International Produce Association VIVA Fresh Conference in San Antonio.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
They say that actions speak louder than words, so we'll let the all-new, state-of-the-art BMW FAR show you what that means. Choose from an incredible selection of new BMWs and get exceptional service today. Right now, you can lease a 2026 BMW X3 30X Drive just $569 a month with $52.99 due at signing. Come see why BMW has always been known as the ultimate driving machine. Visit the corner of Expressway 281 and Owasso in FAR. Come find your new BMW today at BMW of FAR, a Bird Ogden Auto Group dealership.
Are you looking for equipment you can trust from a name that stood strong for more than half a century? Rivetta's Machinery in Donna has been serving the Rio Grande Valley since it was founded by Tomas Rivetta, a man. He built his business on hard work and treating every customer like family. Firm handshakes. Today, his grandson Thomas carries that same name and that same commitment forward. 3 generations strong and still family owned. They're your trusted Coyote dealer, KIOTI, offering the full lineup of Coyote equipment. Powerful Coyote tractors built tough for Texas land. Heavy-duty skid steers, smooth-cutting zero-turn mowers, rugged utility vehicles, equipment that's built to work as hard as you do. And here's the best part. Right now, with credit approval, they're offering 0% interest financing on all Coyote equipment, making it easier than ever to put a brand new Coyote to work on your property. From Tomas to Thomas, the tradition continues. Join the tradition of family service, hard work, and dependable Coyote equipment. Rivetta's Machinery, 3 generations strong. Your hometown Coyote dealer. See dealer for full details.
And now, a list of things from Progressive Insurance. Home, auto, boat, motorcycle, RV, ATV. Progressive protects them all. Learn more about bundling at progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Tune in tonight as your Houston Astros host the St. Louis Cardinals. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV. Are you ready? You can watch our video interviews across Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, and LinkedIn, connecting with you on air on the Radio Power Me app and now through our social media video interviews. News Talk 710 KURV. History is unfolding, and you're listening to it on News Talk 710 KURV, Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville.
This is a Fox News alert. Oil prices are plunging. Stocks are surging. I'm Dave Anthony. As the financial markets react to what President Trump just touted on Truth Social, that Iran says the Strait of Hormuz is fully open for shipping. He also, though, wrote that the U.S. military blockade on Iran's ports will remain in full force and effect until they make a deal to end the conflict. Fox's Matt Finn reports from Dubai.
Iran was reportedly asking for a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon as part of its requirements for some type of peace deal with the United States. Now that the president announced that 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon yesterday, moments ago, the foreign minister of Iran announced that the Strait of Hormuz behind me in the distance in the Persian Gulf is declared completely open open for the remaining period of the ceasefire.
That has sent the Dow up 735 points, oil prices down almost 11%. The Senate is about to meet this hour to consider what the House approved at 2 o'clock this morning, a short-term extension of a controversial FISA provision considered an anti-terror tool allowing foreign surveillance.
House Republicans wanted an 18-month extension. Overnight, the House blocked a 5-year reauthorization, so they settled on a Band-Aid. The House renewed the spy program until the end of the month.
Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. Some lawmakers fear that surveillance infringes on Americans' privacy rights. Another progressive is going to Congress.
We are at a turning point in this nation, my people. Do you feel it? Do you want it?
Anna Lilia Mejia, backed by Bernie Sanders, won a special election in New Jersey for the House seat vacant since Democrat Mikey Sherrill became governor. Mejia beat Republican Joe Hathaway by 20 points. President Trump goes to Arizona today, attending a Turning Point USA event more than 7 months after the conservative group's leader, Charlie Kirk, was murdered. And Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, goes to court today for another hearing. His lawyers are seeking a delay in the case. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Well, back to Wall Street and that big stock market surge. Not only is the Dow up 762 points, the NASDAQ is gaining 281, going up a 13th straight session to a new record high. The S&P 500 also rising 68 points. It's higher than ever before at the moment this morning. And another stock, though, that is dropping. Going in the opposite direction, one stock is Netflix. It's falling 9%. After the streaming media giant downgraded earnings guidance for this quarter, and Netflix's co-founder Reed Hastings announced he's going to leave the company. Now back to oil's plunge almost 11%. It puts WTI back to $84 a barrel after spiking well over 100, making gas way more expensive. Regular is down 2 more cents today. AAA's national average $4.07 per gallon. That's 8 cents less than a week ago, but still well over $1 more than before the Iran conflict, and we'll be paying for that at more than just the gas pump.
Amazon says so far they've been absorbing elevated costs in fuel and logistics, but as costs remain elevated, they say they're implementing a temporary 3.5% fuel and logistics surcharge in light of higher oil prices. This will be applied to fulfillment fees across Fulfillment by Amazon in the U.S. and Canada, as well as to remote fulfillment from the U.S. into Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. Amazon insists their increase is meaningfully lower in comparison to other major carriers. The U.S. Postal Service is increasing its fuel surcharge by 8% starting next weekend. UPS and FedEx fuel surcharges have increased as well. Those fluctuate weekly or monthly based on diesel and jet fuel indexes. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
The NBA playoffs will be set tonight with the last 2 play-in tournament games. First in Orlando, the Magic play the Charlotte Hornets for the Eastern Conference's 8th seed, and then the Golden State Warriors face the Phoenix Suns for the last playoff spot in the West. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. Mostly cloudy, windy, and quite warm today with highs in the upper 80s to mid-90s. That southeast wind at 15 to 25 miles an hour. Increasing clouds tonight, breezy and remaining warm. Lows only into the mid-70s. The south-southeast wind still at 12 to 25 miles an hour. It'll be breezy to start, otherwise cloudy and hot for us on Saturday, but the high right near 90. Sunday, cloudy, occasional rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Highs in the 60s to near 70. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
If your mom or dad or a loved one, they need help at home, daily tasks like bathing, dressing, cooking, some house chores. Healthcare Unlimited helped me with my mom and dad. Healthcare Unlimited has been serving South Texas families since 1990 and is proud to be the highest quality rated home care agency in this entire region. Their trained attendants help clients stay safe and comfortable and independent where they want to be, at home. And if your family needs support, please call Healthcare Unlimited today. A little help at home can make a huge difference.
The 710 KURV People Poll is brought to you by Total Imaging Solutions, the home of copiers. Fixed within 4 hours.
Join us on the Friday morning news and the Sergio Show as we celebrate RGV agriculture, live from San Antonio at the annual Texas International Produce Association VIVA Fresh EXPO. We'll be visiting folks on the front lines of produce, distribution, logistics, as our ag family presents our harvest to the world. Join us from Viva Fresh in San Antonio on the radio and all KURV social media platforms. Broadcast made possible by Mission Economic Development Corporation and the FAR International Bridge.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center, this is the Sergio Show. Talking about the news headlines and topics that affect you. And now, the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez.
Time is 9:07, hour one of the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. And we continue this special day of broadcasting from San Antonio, Texas. We're at the JW Marriott. It is the Texas International Produce Association, the 11th Viva Fresh Expo. And boy, they've chosen a really nice, huge place, huge campus to hold this expo, this convention. I guess they needed it because on display is Texas veggies and fruits and nuts and berries, legumes and winter gardens, South Texas agriculture, West Texas, East Texas, melons, watermelons, all that from Texas is being sold to the nation and to the world. And let me start this hour with one of our supporters. And I wish to acknowledge the many folks who made it possible for 710 KURV to be here with Dante Galeazzi and the gang over at Texas International Produce. We kicked things off this morning. And I just saw Jimmy Garza in the hall moments ago from Bibble Distributors and his DEI hire, Wasim. Inside joke. You have to do the rewind for the early this. Dante, of course, we spoke with him with the Produce Association. The one put this entire team, this one-stop clearinghouse together to sell our goods, to take it to market. We had Teclo Garcia, EDC office in the city of Mission, as well. Lone Star Citrus Growers, you just heard from Judd Flowers. An amazing family, an amazing tradition, heritage, and you got the young ones in the family that are carrying the flag now for Lone Star Citrus Growers. And we start this 9 o'clock hour. We'll be speaking also featuring conversations with some of the customers at our FAR International Bridge. And the tip of the spear for that is my friend Luis Bassan. Louis, come up to the microphone, my brother. Okay, so I know that this Viva Fresh Expo is very important to our bridge.
It sure is, Sergio. Thank you again for having us. We're happy to do this, and we're here for the 11th year in a row. We haven't looked back ever since day one, ever since we were approached about this sponsorship. And I'm glad we're here because this keeps us very close to our customers, our customer base that we already have there. It's all about business retention, business sustainability. The FAR area is growing with more cold warehouses, more cold chain facility that we're building also inside the port. But we're here because of that, but also because we want to learn about other products. How can we diversify our portfolio with new products that might be coming in from other countries?
Warehousing, logistics, cold storage, all that.
You name it.
And it has ramped up over the past several years. Give folks an idea. Like when you started with Viva Fresh over a decade ago, like where were you then as far as square footage? Where are we now? Where are we headed as far as
just put it this way. I remember when I first got there, I was not the director, obviously. I was the industrial development manager, and I was working as the conduit between the FAR International Bridge and the FAR Economic Development Corporation. So my job was to basically go knock on doors, go find out what businesses were doing, were they growing, what they needed to grow to be successful. But back then, the city had just bought about 100 acres, which is now the FAR Produce District, which is all cold warehouse development now. So that's 100 acres. Every acre tract is anywhere from about 2 to 3 up to maybe 5 acres per tract. And pretty much right now they're building some of the last buildings there. So what that has allowed us to do is really capture and own in on the produce side of things. You know, we've managed to keep our #1 ranking in the nation for produce crossings, well above Nogales. That's what it was 10, 12 years ago or before that. So that's why, because they're seeing the growth. We were talking about it earlier during breakfast. You know, now a lot of these companies, they don't just want to rent facilities. They want to start establishing their own facilities and grow their own business. And for us, that's what we aim for, right? That's part of our goal, to grow business.
All that means jobs, warehousing, logistics, and all that investment. So all those businesses setting up shop. It means revenue for the city. When it comes to the tax base and all that as well.
Sure.
The expansion of the FAR International Crossing or FAR International Commercial Bridge. Tell me about where we are, what's happening with the expansion.
We're very close to the finish line. I just got back from D.C. Last week. We were out there for the Binational Bridges and Borders Crossings Group meeting. Okay. This is a binational delegation, federal partners, both U.S. and Mexico. This is the delegation that either allows you to go forward with the green light or pushes you back with a yellow or green or red light, meaning that either you're going in the right direction or you're not. We were there. I'd like to say this. I brought it up before. In the city of FAR, we're known for having these 3 things in place. We have our leadership, we have our plans, and we have our funding in place. That's what it has allowed us to really grow and to be able to build the infrastructure necessary to not just capture future trade, but to position ourselves, strategically for future trade.
Day to day, how much volume, either in trucks, in weight? I mean, put it into perspective. Help us understand what you have as far as.
So when you're looking at a day-to-day operation at the bridge, and this is inbound and outbound, obviously we're on the city side. We collect the tolls, and then we work with our federal partners in Mexico and then CBP coming back northbound. You're looking at about 5,500 trucks in and out daily that are crossing this bridge. In terms of volume for produce, you're doing about 8 million pounds of produce every month. So that's about 120,000 shipments or truckloads of fresh produce that cross through this bridge every year. I just reported to my board on Wednesday, 37% of the Texas average of produce that crossed through the month of March compared to March of last year. So that was about 22,000 trucks that crossed only in the month of March alone.
Luis Basan is the director of the FAR International Bridge. It is our commercial crossing. And it is, I'll describe it like the main bridge when it comes to all the trade of fruits and veggies and agriculture, right? It's the #1 bridge.
It's the #1. It's our ranking.
Mexico, U.S., Mexico, all the veggies, all that is coming through. And who recently, and thanks to a friend who brought that over to our table, he put together an economic index report. Mr. David Martinez, he gave me reports that 14% increase. What was it, like year to year, right?
Correct.
Increase.
Okay.
What was that quarterly? 14% increase at the FAR International Bridge when it came to commercial traffic for you. Is that
okay? So right now, if you're looking at year to date, we're at about 9% just on southbound trucks alone. So yeah, once you factor it all in, it's about double. So you're almost looking at almost 20%. Because we're really recapturing 100% of what we're bringing in northbound.
Which the reason I brought it up begs the question, what is it then? What is it that's crossing more now?
So we've talked about this. Our portfolio is not just produce. When you look at the value of goods, right? And there's a big misconception about that. Trade value of goods. Produce is basically at the lower end, kind of in the middle at about 18%. But 75% is actually manufactured goods. We cater to the automotive industry, to the medical industry, technology, all those sectors.
I've often said, and this goes back to Mike Allen days, one of my mentors. That he was the original chief at McAllen Economic Development.
Correct.
And I remember, you remember those days when Mexico would change president. They'd find out that the coffers were empty. The Mexican peso would devalue. Just the crazy roller coaster days back then with the old Mexico before they centralized their bank and protected everything. The increasing influence on the Mexican economy when it came to foreign manufacturers, whether they were multinational firms or the U.S. firms. He told me, watch the maquilas. If the maquilas slow down, if they go idle, if they let people go, that's the canary in the coal mine. Yeah. If they stop, if they go south, that's a 6 month, at least a 6 month leading indicator that the Midwest and U.S. manufacturing will see a recession. Okay. And I remember it was like sometime in the Clinton years, Bush years, he pointed to me, and sure enough, it became a reality. It's like manufacturing just south of the border. And I say this because if you are seeing an increase of 14 to 20% southbound and northbound combined in what is industry and frontline manufacturing and assembly line, I think that says a lot about the strength of the American economy now. In the Midwest, Northeast, and all this industry that's reshoring to the U.S.
We're buying. Yeah. We're buying stuff. We're buying products.
Orders are coming in.
Absolutely. That's what keeps the economy going. Yeah. But it's reciprocal, And let me tell you something about maquilas real quick. So for the most part, manufacturing plants or maquiladoras, as people know them, for the most part, they mostly are certified. Their entire supply chain is certified. From the driver to the truck to the product, everything that is done is certified. Right now, that's representative of about 35% certified goods that cross through the FAR International Bridge. With the twin span, with the bridge expansion that's coming, and we're just going to start operating sometime between May and June of 2026, so that's all around the corner, we will have 2 fast lanes, free and secure trade lanes, all the way from Mexico to the U.S. For what? For certified conveyances, for certified goods, for anybody under that program. So what is that going to do? Our goal is to get to over 60% in the next 5 to 6 years and grow that number, meaning more manufacturers are going to start looking, or even more companies. We might even get produce companies to start getting certified. There's been talks with CBP about that, right? Meaning that your product goes in and out. There's no wait time. There's nothing that holds you back inside the port. Faster wait, zero wait. That's what we're working with, and that's what we're going to get with the FAR International Bridge expansion that's coming soon.
So say the slogan again. You should put it on a T-shirt and caps and start.
You'll see it up and down the escalators here, and you're going to hear more about it. It's faster trade, zero wait.
Luis Basan, director of the FAR International Bridge. We'll have a chance to speak with some of the customers for the FAR International Bridge here. Real quick on the logistics side, are we in the area that services the bridge and brings in? Are we at 1 million square feet of warehousing, cold storage, or are we approaching that?
So about 2 years ago, and these are Economic Development Corporation numbers, and like I've been talking about, we could get maybe Victor into one of these one day, have him explain that. But it started with about 1 million square feet. That was the initial plan. And it looks like there's about 7 or 8 projects that are currently underway, either under planning or development or even under construction there. But that's the first 1 million square feet. 1 million square feet that was already established by another company. It's already there. It's already operational. They are I think they're in the supplies business or cabinet making business or something like that. Don't quote me on that, right? But that's already done. But there's more square footage coming.
We have a lot more to talk about, and I do have another conversation that I will present on the Sergio Show very near future. One where I'm out of time in this segment, but you stick around and join us later next week on the program. An Ag Lab Training Center right there.
Correct, inside the port.
Inside the port. Fascinating news. Yeah, we're not only leading in trade, but also education when it comes to international trade. Louis, thank you for having us over today.
No, thank you for having me.
I'm going to pitch it back to producer Freddie over at the mothership in Mission, Texas. We're going to pay some bills and come on back. We're broadcasting the Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV from Viva Fresh Expo 2026. We're here with the Texas International Produce Association, Dante Gagliazzi and family, as we have Texas produce and distributors and ag industry support on parade here in San Antonio at the JW Marriott.
Tune in tonight as your Houston Astros host the St. Louis Cardinals. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV.
Are you ready?
Some people travel for adventure, some travel for business, and some travel for a bit of both. But they all know the best way from A to B is McAllen International Airport, where flying is always better with the Valley's only ticketless parking and best VIP lounge. And McAllen has more nonstop flights to the best destinations for adventure, business, and a bit of both. Like new daily nonstop service from McAllen to Monterrey, Mexico, for business, adventure, fun, and family. Save a day of business travel time with nonstop flights from McAllen to Austin, Houston, or Dallas. Then find adventure in our state's biggest cities, or experience the best of both worlds when you fly nonstop from McAllen to some of America's most popular convention and vacation cities, like Las Vegas, Orlando, and Phoenix. Travel is about more than going from A to B. It's about going above, beyond, at McAllen International Airport. Fly McAllen at flymfe.com.
Join us on the Friday Morning News and the Sergio Show as we celebrate RGV agriculture, live from San Antonio at the annual Texas International Produce Association VIVA Fresh EXPO. We'll be visiting folks on the front lines of produce, distribution, logistics, as our ag family presents our harvest to the world. Join us from VIVA Fresh in San Antonio on the radio and all KURV social media platforms. Broadcast made possible by Lone Star Citrus Growers and the Museum of South Texas History. A reminder of an amazing value that awaits you if you make a phone call today to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Let's say you got some rain in the forecast. Some of you might be getting a bit antsy, nervous. Oh, crud, we need to keep somebody there on the weekend in case water comes down at us again. Be done with this issue. Get it fixed. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing can check, see if everything's okay at your commercial property roof. They'll do it for free. They do it because that's the way to meet you. Doesn't matter what type of business you have, a commercial strip, a warehouse, whatever it is. Trust Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing with almost 130 years in the business of commercial roofs. They've got the cutting-edge roof installation, repair and maintenance technology, and the advanced waterproofing solutions, precisely what you need. At a time when you get some heavy rain and it's found a way to get down at you and on your equipment and your customers. And you want to stop that. You want to prevent that. To do that, call Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, and get everything checked by experts who know what they're looking for. And that way you know what to do in your future. Again, that expert assessment, that check of your commercial roofing system, how healthy it is, yeah, that's free. It's an amazing value. So get that information. Call Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing at 956-655-6178.
The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez. Weekday mornings at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and live on Facebook.
The time is 9:23. This is the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV, and of course all these social media platforms. That way you can go and rewind and go see some friends in case you missed any of the conversations. We are honored to be with the Texas International Produce Association, their Viva Fresh Expo 2026. It's the 11th Expo that is putting Texas agriculture and the distributors and support services, Texas agriculture, on display for the nation and for the world. A couple of clients of the FAR International Bridge. We want to say thank you to Luis Basan. Thank you, Louis, for having us over today. So a couple of clients for the FAR International Bridge I present to you. And of course, you can see us online, the social media broadcast. Anthony Serafino is president of EXP Group. Welcome, Anthony. And also Brenda Ocampo, president of, and I love the name. It just evokes so many images. Pickle Mex.
I like that.
Like pickles with tajin, pickles with, chamoy, pickles. That's what I'm thinking right now. Okay, Anthony, let's start with you, brother. So tell me about EXP Group. What do you do day to day?
Sure. EXP Group is it's a multinational conglomerate. It's based on several companies, but our premier business is really produce, right? And it originally started headquartered in North Bergen, New Jersey, just right outside of the New York City area. And our second location opened up in the Rio Grande Valley about 3 years ago. And it's been great. We import, distribute fresh produce across the United States. We grow, pack, ship, distribute. And it's been so much fun on an everyday basis, really working logistically to make sure fresh produce really goes from farm to table.
Is it a big menu of
Oh yeah, we have
fruits
over
and veggies?
we have over 300 SKUs, different shopkeeping units. So it's quite a large operation.
And your office is up in New Jersey.
Yep, I'm at the mothership, as you say. I'm at the headquarters in North Bergen, just 5 miles out of New York City. But we have a big presence here in the Valley as well. So in McAllen, and ironically, we're moving our facility to FAR, which is really, really exciting. So we're looking for that to be even closer to that important FAR International Bridge.
That is Anthony Serafino. He's president of EXP Group. Brenda Ocampo joining us as well, another client of the FAR International Bridge. Okay, Brenda, Pickle Mex. What is it? Well, coming to the micro, what is Pickle Mex? What do you do?
So Pickle Mex, we import pickle and cucumbers. So
Pickle and cucumbers, yeah. Bring up the mic here on mic 2. You import pickles, cucumbers, that's it.
Correct.
And you put them in brine.
Well,
Okay.
we sell to processors.
Okay, I see.
We sell to all processors nationwide.
How about what do they call it? Like consumer ready or secondary? Like, you know what is it? Like a package, like chopped up and with chile and things. Do you
They're
also
amazing.
Do?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
We do. We sell to companies that actually.
Yeah. That stuff's gotta be like crazy popular. Like, do you distribute nationwide?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
Is that the brand? Like, if I go like to H-E Butt, I'll find a Pickle Max jar of like chile infused pickles and cucumbers, or
No,
what?
it's not. The brand
No.
is Ocampo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hungry for pickles now.
Yes. And they're amazing.
Yeah.
We sell to basically all the pickling in the pickle industry.
Yeah.
So any jar that you see at the grocery store, pretty much more than likely could have been one
I'm
of
gonna
our
take a look at those labels now to see the name. Look for Ocampo.
Ocampo. Well, we don't have our brand here.
Okay.
So it's for the grocery stores. If you see it at the
We
grocery
have
store.
been denied.
Fresh,
We have
fresh.
not lived yet. It's not here yet. So you're trying to get it to Texas or what? Or the Valley? Or
Well, no, we sell the raw material to the
Okay.
processors.
Okay.
And so they process the cucumbers into all the brands that you see in the stores.
Where do you harvest all these pickles?
So we harvest, we're the
Cucumbers.
grower. So my brother's in Mexico and he grows and I distribute, I'm the importer. And pretty much we grow everywhere in Mexico. We grow in Sinaloa, we grow in Nayarit, Jalisco, Michoacan, Zacatecas. So we grow pretty much everywhere.
Are
So
you one of the largest
we're one of the
importers,
largest.
distributors?
And I could say I want to say the first one that imports year round. So we have pickling cucumbers year round.
Yeah. Let's see where the seed is, and let's see the weather: hot, cold, north, south. Oh, you get a lot of coordination to get that.
Correct.
Import. Okay. What does the FAR International Bridge mean to EXP Group? Anthony Serafino, your company. What does the FAR International Bridge mean?
Well, it's everything. I would actually argue that it's one of the most important crossings in the United States. The amount of volume that it sees on a daily basis, weekly basis, anytime there's any type of geopolitical tension, we really feel that really on the border level. But more importantly, what it means to us, it's everything, right? And I think when we look at the investment the FAR International Bridge is making on their expansion, it's pivotal. It just shows the growing commerce in the Rio Grande Valley. So at least selfishly for our organization on a microeconomic perspective, it's a tremendous asset for us. I couldn't imagine we can do anything remotely close volume-wise without that bridge.
And again, expanding, increasing your footprint in the RGV.
Yep.
Are you hiring?
We always are hiring. We're looking
Yeah.
for great people, great talent. And I think it's not just our organization. I think there's a plethora of organizations that are coming to the Rio Grande Valley, Mission, FAR, McAllen, you name it, Edinburgh. There's just so many towns that are looking for investment and looking for a massive labor input and influx into the Valley. So it's a great place to be. We're always hiring. If you're looking to join a great team, please call us.
Brenda Ocampo, what does a FAR International Bridge mean to operations at your company?
It's a partnership. I mean, choosing between crossing here and other ports of entry, this is the best port of entry, especially right now with the cost of freight. This is a great location because you could go to the East Coast, you could go, to the West Coast,
Yeah.
any state. And for us, it's saving our customers money. with freight.
So the majority of what you import, right, comes through the FAR International Bridge?
About 98% of it.
Yeah.
98%.
So yeah,
we're about in the same boat, right?
Absolutely.
It's critical. I mean, the terms of entry there and FAR, just how it is location geographically into the United States, it's really a perfect antidote because we're seeing with diesel costs rising, freight costs rising to keep it right there. I agree.
What are you looking forward to most at Viva Fresh, Ms. Brand?
Interacting with other people in the industry. I mean, and having the connections.
Your client base is U.S. based, right? Or do you have international?
Just the U.S.
Just the U.S. Okay. Looking for more business opportunities, I'm sure, since
Correct.
everybody under one roof. And for you, my friend?
I mean, we primarily have domestic exposure, but there is a little bit of international exposure for our organization as well. But Viva Fresh, this is, I think, Dante Galeazzi and Tipa do a fantastic job. I think this is the best show for networking and integrating with other grower, packers, shippers, the networking opportunities. And man, what a beautiful facility here in San Antonio.
Good to have it under one roof. It's a pleasure meeting you. Continued success to you. Thank you for the expansion in the RGV.
My pleasure.
And you guys keep in touch. Come and see us at the studio in Mission.
Thank you so much. We absolutely will.
We'll definitely drop off some pickles too.
Can you drop off some pickles as well?
Yeah. There we go.
There is some great customers in New Jersey.
There you go. Right?
Everybody likes those hot pickles.
Yes.
Gene, whatever you put on it. Anthony Serafino, President, EXP Group. Brenda Ocampo, President of the delicious sounding Pickle Mex. Man, that's an awesome name. This is the Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV, and we're broadcasting from San Antonio from the beautiful JW Marriott campus. It's a massive campus, and this is where Viva Fresh Expo 2026 is taking place. We're going to take a break, catch up with the world, take a look at news, back to the mothership in Mission, and then we'll come back to San Antonio, continue our coverage of Viva Fresh Expo 2026. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Big thank you to our supporter this hour, day to day. It's Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Good to meet you. Yeah. Come and see us.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Yes, likewise.
Yeah. Do you mind? Can we take a picture?
Yes,
I
please.
told our social media we grab something as well.
You've got my number. I texted you. Are you in the market for a new Toyota or pre-owned Toyota? Look no further than Toyota of FAR. They have extensive selection of Toyota cars and Toyota trucks and Toyota SUVs, along with exceptional customer service every step of the way. Number to call, 956-815-2285.
It's spring into savings at Toyota of FAR, and the deals are blooming. Drive a new Tacoma for just $94 a month, a powerful Tundra for $197, Camry for $127, or a RAV4 for $229 a month. Visit us at 6025 West Interstate 2 in FAR. Shop online at toyotafar.com or call 815-2285. That's 815-2285. It's 815-2285.
Toyota of FAR, somos buena gente.
This is House Call for Health. The U.S. appears to be gaining significant ground in the fight against opioid addiction. A new study finds long-term opioid prescriptions fell by nearly 25% between 2015 and 2023. The dramatic decline reflecting people on active long-term opioid treatment defined as 90 days or longer. Researchers analyzing a database that records over 90% of all American retail pharmacy prescriptions. Results showing that in 2023, patients on long-term opioid therapy accounted for just under 12% of all patients prescribed any opioids. Overall, the number of people on long-term opioids falling from about 5.6 million in 2015 to 4.2 million in 2023. The study also noting the average age of patients receiving long-term opioid therapy rose from 53 to almost 61. Experts say the findings do indicate a pressing need to develop better ways to treat pain. The findings appear in JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Fox on Tech.
What would it take to get you to proudly wear a pair of smart glasses? The connected eyewear, making use of augmented reality by projecting readable info into the lenses for your eyes only, have yet to truly catch on. Some remain unimpressive or have low battery time. Others, such as Apple's Vision Pro, aren't as easy to wear as regular old eyeglasses. But what if you could show off some high-tech bling? Kering Eyewear announces it is partnering with Google for a new line of smart glasses bearing the Gucci brand. Google has yet to comment, but one could imagine the swanky specs to run on some form of the Android operating system and would work in tandem with other Android devices. Google once promoted a pair of their own called Google Glass. They've been long discontinued. And while we don't yet know the price points, the company hopes to debut the fashionable frames next year. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm CJ Papa. President Trump and Iran's foreign minister say the Strait of Hormuz is now fully open to commercial vessels as that 10-day truce in Lebanon appeared to hold. President Trump posting on Truth Social the blockade as it relates to Iran still in place until the deal is 100% complete.
Day 5 now of the U.S. blockade that apparently has been going down without any reported incident or major confrontation. CENTCOM says at least 14 vessels have heeded United States commands to either turn back to the ports of Iran or not violate their blockade.
Fox's Matt Finn in Dubai. Wall Street rising on the word that the vital waterway is fully open. The S&P 500, NASDAQ hitting all-time intraday highs at the opening bell. They are on track to close in record territory for the third straight day. America's listening to Fox News.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. Mostly cloudy, windy, and quite warm this afternoon. Highs in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Clear early, then increasing clouds tonight. It'll be breezy and warm. The low only down into the mid-70s. Then on Saturday, breezy, cloudy. The high hitting right around 90. And cloudy with occasional rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon Sunday. Much cooler. Highs in the 60s to 70. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez. Rapid fire headlines.
I got some audio for you, Freddie. You might want to cue the pod real quick. So weeks after the U.S. Supreme Court said no to some of President Trump's emergency tariffs, the federal government is launching an online portal for businesses so that they can request a tariff refund. And that portal, I think, it opens up early next week.
Many of the Trump administration's tariffs were struck down this year by the Supreme Court, opening the door for businesses to start submitting claims. The portal, called Consolidated Administration and Processing of Entries, or CAPE, will open for applications on April 20th. Tens of thousands of importers have already registered to receive refunds. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
There are competing plans at the state capitol to deal with property taxes, and lawmakers up in Austin are talking about that.
Dozens of state lawmakers signing on to the governor's so-called taxpayer empowerment plan. One of them is State Rep Matt Shaheen. He likes the part about requiring cities to get 2/3 voter approval for property tax increases.
We don't have a lot of restrictions on growth of government and debt and the like, and I think, quite frankly, they're taking advantage of it.
He also praised the governor's plan for capping property appraisals, which will be done every 5 years. This will be a major issue heading into the next legislative session and the upcoming election.
The IRS is using artificial intelligence to process tax returns following the April 15th deadline. The IRS saying that the technology helps speed up reviews and try to find mistakes. The parent company of home shopping TV channel QVC and HSN, they are filing for bankruptcy. Yes, viewers are getting their information elsewhere. Yeah, they're going to their phones and their computers.
You are getting a $128 QVC price
for $79.
QVC Group revealed the plan in filing with the SEC. This comes as consumer habits have shifted, with video platforms on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube entering the shopping space. QVC Group laid off 900 employees last year as it planned to shift to social platforms. The company said its aim is to emerge from bankruptcy within 90 days. I'm Michael Kastner.
Speaking of bankruptcy, let's go to an airline that was in the news earlier this week, doing really good when it came to customer service. They were top ranked now when it came to customer service on serious issues like baggage, getting lost, flight delays, the stuff that people hate. Yes, Spirit Airlines came in as top ranked, even above Southwest Airlines. But now some sad news for them. Spirit Airlines reportedly facing total liquidation as their bankruptcy plan has been derailed by what? Take a guess. Yeah. Jet fuel is real expensive.
Is the yellow plane grounded for good? Well, breaking news for travelers today. Spirit Airlines is reportedly on the verge of total liquidation, with a shutdown possible as early as this weekend. Reports from Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal say Spirit's bankruptcy rescue plan has collapsed. Sky-high fuel prices triggered by the ongoing war with Iran have reportedly left the budget carrier with no path forward. The airline's already started slashing dozens of routes. They say they're still flying for now, but travel experts warn of overnight cancellations. If you have a trip booked with Spirit, keep a very close eye on your flight status before you head to the airport. Natalie Rodriguez, Miami.
Wow. As more consumers are relying on artificial intelligence for everything, including shopping online, there's a new tech report today saying that not all websites are ready to absorb all that traffic.
AI traffic to the websites of U.S.-based retailers is up year over year by 269%, according to a new report by Adobe. The company says 39% of shoppers now report using AI in some way to help them make a purchase. Adobe says even with the surge in AI traffic, more than a quarter of websites have not been optimized for artificial intelligence that can connect retailers with potential customers. I'm Rory O'Neill.
AI, data centers, chip manufacturing, they're thirsty, require a lot of water, and also a lot of electricity. One of the subjects that the folks at the Electric Reliability Council of Texas are looking at as power. The demand for power in Texas is about to go through the roof because of summer temperatures. And yes,
ERCOT released a tease of its upcoming forecast ahead of Friday morning's Public Utility Commission meeting. It's projecting over 367,000 megawatts of demand will be needed by 2032. That's more than 4 times the all-time peak demand record of 85,000 megawatts in August 2023. ERCOT President and CEO Pablo Vegas told state lawmakers in the past month and a half they've seen a big jump in the number of projects.
Over 80% of these, around 87%, are data centers. So there are other projects in here, traditional large industrial development projects.
Vegas says the transmission plan they have in place should make addressing this high demand doable. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Time is 9:43. This is the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. This hour of the program made possible day to day by Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. We're honored, proud to be representing the Valley and Texas Agriculture, Valley Agriculture. We are with family since KURV is the ag station for South Texas. We are at Viva Fresh, the big expo in San Antonio. The beautiful enchiladas verdes. The special is back at El Pato. Only $6.99 for a limited time. With a side of those ranchero beans, the Mexican rice, and the drink. It's only $6.99. That's an amazing offer. Corn tortillas all rolled up with a seasoned shredded chicken, slathered with that gorgeous green spicy tomatillo sauce and the beautiful melted white cheese. Oh, you could just taste them right now. Enchiladas verdes, rice, beans, and the drink, only $6.99. Stack up those plates at all El Pato restaurants. Plus the daily specials that are only $5.99. Different day of the week. Could be carne guisada plates, chicken enchilada plates, taquitos mexicanos, chicken guisado. It tastes so good. It smells so good. It's beautiful. It's our food. Rio Grande Valley Tex-Mex. You know you're hungry. Stop by El Pato. Phone it in like I do or order online at elpato.com. Enchiladas verdes, ranchero beans, the Mexican rice, and the drink.
Only $6.99 for a limited time.
Every year, nearly 8,000 pets come through the doors of Palm Valley Animal Society. Animals who need safety, care, and a second chance. At PVAS, we're committed to giving every dog and cat the compassion they deserve, from life-saving medical care to loving new homes. But we can't do it alone. Your support helps us protect the most vulnerable animals in the Rio Grande Valley and build a more humane community for all. Visit pvastx.org or our social media to adopt, donate, or get involved today. Together, we save lives.
If you're in the market for a new Toyota or pre-owned Toyota, look no further than Toyota Afar. They have an extensive selection of Toyota cars and Toyota SUVs and Toyota trucks, along with exceptional customer service every step of the way. Call 956-815-2285.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
And we continue our conversations on 710 KURV on the radio, of course, live on this Friday, second day of VIVA Fresh, the Texas International Produce Association. Our friend Dante Gagliazzi and crew pushing hard, selling hard. Texas agriculture and fruits and veggies. Of course, the Rio Grande Valley, a huge contingent with that. There's a lot of international produce as well that's represented. The whole idea is to provide this one-stop shop, this warehouse event. So folks who are in the business of retailing food or restaurants, you got some grocery chains. Yeah, they have a chance to see what Texas has to offer from across the state of Texas. One of the folks who has been working at the Far International Bridge, an expert in customs broker. He's been doing this since 1984. For me, it's a pleasure to meet and also talk about his business. Joe Arevalo from Joe Arevalo and Associates. And as I mentioned, he's an expert in customs and all this trade. And I understand you also have refrigeration at the Far International Bridge. So tell me how you got in this business, and then describe the refrigeration operation that you have at the Far Bridge, Joe.
I started in the business in 1984. As a teenager, I was 19. Actually, I joined a family business. My wife, her dad, and her uncle were brokers, and they invited us to work right out of high school. And while I went to the university, I was studying studying the business. Like I mentioned a little while ago, the career chose me, right? It chose me. It's a very interesting career, and we used to do a lot of produce imports back in the 80s. It was like hundreds of shipments daily we used to handle, and we still do. We still do now under my company, but it's been a long journey. I just lost the thing. It's been a long journey. Over 4 decades, you could say 4 decades. I started my business in 1993. It was time for us to fly on our own, and we took off, and we went from seeing the port being a sleepy port to being a global powerhouse. It's a strong port. Thousands of shipments cross daily through our port. A lot of produce. It's become a powerhouse for produce imports because our area is a produce hub. Most of the people that import produce, the produce brokers, are here in this area, and you see, and this is where big deals are done. This is where the supply arrives from Mexico and eventually enters the U.S. markets.
At Keystone Cold Storage that you have there at the port, give me an example of what you store and how you are part of that network to keep everything fresh coming into the U.S. So what do you store there for? How long? How does it work, this refrigeration business you have at Keystone?
We have a lot of clients that are from out of town, New York, Canada, different states, Florida. And well, they don't have facilities at our port. I mean, they're not going to make multi-million-dollar investments just to handle their few shipments that they cross. So there's a need for temporary cold storage. Most of the shipments that we handle involve avocados, mangoes, all types of mixed produce, the peppers, the chiles, we call them HEB-Los because they're always mixed. There's all types of mixtures of from lettuces to cabbage to just a variety. A lot of limes coming from Mexico. And the goods need a temporary staging area to transfer truck to truck or to fill in orders. We have 2 facilities, which make up, we have about 80,000 square feet of cold storage between both our facilities.
I was surprised. Some time back, we were talking about avocados coming to the U.S. And I was just amazed how the fruit is picked, plucked, and how long it stays in transit, like weeks and weeks and weeks before it finally goes to, let's say, for example, HEB, their warehousing facility. Can you give me a sample? Like avocados, I was surprised, like they go 4 or 5 weeks, something like that, like a long time.
I think that amount of time is a little long. Once it gets picked, it goes directly to the facilities where it's going to be packed in Mexico, and it's done under USDA presence in Mexico. I say that it arrives within a week.
Okay.
After it's picked, within a week, and it arrives at the border. And the salespeople here at the border that specialize in avocado, these guys move those products fast. Most of those shipments are practically pre-sold by the time they arrive here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're looking at about a week, 2 weeks transit. Avocados in a well-kept temperatures, about 38 degrees, 36, 38 degrees, will last about a month. They'll last about a month. If you put a box of avocados in your refrigerator, it'll last 20 days, easy.
Of all the veggies and fruits that you handle, which ones are the most sensitive, time sensitive?
Strawberries, blackberries, blueberries are very temperature sensitive. If you break the cold chain, they just start deteriorating. That is the most sensitive. It's the most sensitive and the most expensive. Blackberries especially.
Yeah.
They can't. You have to maintain them at a perfect 34, 33 degree temperature in order for them to survive the transit times.
Well, whatever it is that they're charging at HEB or some grocery store for all this, man, that's just pennies on the dollar compared to the Herculean expense and the effort made to keep everything fresh and safe and get it to market from a long distance. It's amazing what you do. What else you want to tell me about operations? You hiring? You expanding? What's going on over at
we're stable right now. Volume is good. We're in the middle of our season, so there's a lot of imports coming in. I don't know if you know, but produce from Mexico is seasonal. It's seasonal. It really starts around October and peaks high in February, March, and April. Then it starts slowing down for the rest of the year, and then it begins again. I think it ends around July when it tapers down, and then it starts again in October. But it's really year round though. Produce is crossing year round. We're blessed to have work year round, every day, Monday through Sunday. We're processing imports daily and high volumes. You're not talking about small volumes. The port has grown quite a bit. The amount of trucks that are crossing through our port has grown, and they keep growing. I remember back in the early 2000s, and if you processed 12,000 trucks a year, you were doing well. Now we're processing over 50,000 shipments a year ourselves as brokers.
Yeah.
Right, and I think all the brokers are blessed to have work now because it's increased.
You mentioned how amazing the job is, all the trucks, the crossing, the volume over at the FAR International Bridge. And it is because it's the FAR Bridge that, among the many partners that has us over at Viva Fresh. I just want to give you a chance for just a final mention of how important that relationship is between you, Keystone, Cold Storage, and the gang over at the FAR Bridge.
Mm-hmm. It's I think the relationship that they build, not just with us, but with all the custom brokers and the different facilities, is just part of the whole infrastructure, the whole what is needed to service our local economy and international trade. We're really blessed that the Bridge of FAR has taken the initiative to plan ahead of time. They're currently expanding the bridge. They have invested and secured the multi-million-dollar funds necessary to expand, do a second bridge to accommodate the growth that we're experiencing. So going from 4 lanes, now we're going to have 8 lanes. The import lot is being expanded as well with more cold storage to accommodate the imports that we're getting from Mexico and from other countries, because we also receive goods from Guatemala and Nicaragua that will make their way through our ports, believe it or not. It's an amazing to see what the city of FAR is doing to accommodate the industry.
I was about to say, you got more pallets on the way. Are you at capacity already at cold storage at Keystone? Or
we're fair, we're fair. I'm gonna say that we're booming, but we're fair with the amount of work we have. We make a good living.
Well, here it comes. We're going to have a tsunami now that you're going to 8 lanes at the bridge. We're going to have a tsunami.
Now we need to promote that as well, and I guess that's what we're all doing now. Promoting that this is the powerhouse of produce. Our area is the area to come to import produce from Mexico. We just need the CBP to keep up with the increased gap that they're going to see, because now we're going to need more personnel at CBP to accommodate the extra flow. Because I don't know if you are aware of the slogan by the port authorities over here, the bridge, faster trade, zero wait. Faster trade, zero wait, which means that we're going to have all the trucks on the bridge. We just need somebody to process them as fast as possible with our government's help. And I think they will. They do an amazing job processing the amount of volume that we get now. Almost very few loads get left behind. And I see U.S. Customs as just working hand in hand with the industry. Sincerely.
We wish you continued success, Joe. I appreciate your time today. And come and see us over the desk at Viva Fresh. Appreciate you. We are broadcasting, again, special edition, 710 KURV. We're programming from Viva Fresh in San Antonio on behalf of TIPA, the Texas International Produce Association. A big thank you to Joe Arevalo and family and friends. He's a customs broker expert, again, here on behalf of his company, Keystone Cold Storage, there at the FAR Port of Entry. Be well, Joe.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Sergio Show at Newstalk 710 KURV. We are at Viva Fresh. And as I was listening to that conversation we had with Joe, I was reviewing some of the news that's coming through some of our news services that we subscribe to. One of them, my goodness, I just simmering with anger. I'm like the Hulk right now. I'm going to bust out of my pants is going to bounce out of my jacket, Freddie, but I'm angry because I call them the ninny nannies. The ninny nannies. What do I mean by that? The ninnies, the fools, the idiots. That's a ninny. The nannies are the ones who believe or advocating for centralized control, government control, and they're using the bogus, the scam that is climate change. Yes, I'm not a climate change denier. Gosh darn it, climate change is natural to planet Earth. Check this out, this stupid report from UCLA. These idiots with a bunch of sheepskins. They're a waste of brain cells, waste of spit, but I just wanted to mention to you because they are out there waiting on the sidelines to take control again and to implement policy and law and restrictions and regulations on all industry, from agriculture here to manufacturing, energy. They just want control. It's the nanny. UCLA, new study concluding climate change and natural disasters, increasing homelessness, the number of homeless across America. A series of peer-reviewed, hasta eso, it's several layers of idiots. Series of peer-reviewed studies found disasters, wildfires, hurricanes, floods, increasing homelessness. Got to do something about it. Yeah, pass the law, right? That's what they want. This is the Sergio Show from San Antonio at Viva Fresh. This is KURV Edinburgh.
This is a Fox News alert. A big financial reaction to a big change from Iran. I'm Dave Anthony. The Dow is surging up about 1,000 points as oil prices plunge 14% back to $81 a barrel for WTI. After Iran made an announcement that President Trump touted on Truth Social, it's a great and brilliant day for the world.
The president also writing moments ago, the Strait of Hormuz is completely open and ready for business and full passage, but the naval blockade will remain in full force and effect as it pertains to Iran only until such time as our transaction with Iran is 100% complete.
That's Fox's Matt Finn in Dubai. The president has said a deal to end the conflict could come soon. And he has a bunch of other truth posts this morning, including one related to his vow to never let Iran have a nuclear weapon, writing the U.S. will get all the nuclear dust from Iran, referring to highly enriched uranium, adding no money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form after a report suggested the U.S. would pay Iran for that uranium.
Now, Iran has not confirmed the president's claims and instead put out word yesterday that the U.S. was pursuing a more limited agreement, had scaled back its ambitions, and was instead seeking a temporary memorandum to prevent a return to conflict.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. President Trump also wrote that Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer, prohibited by the U.S., adding enough is enough, and that the U.S. will separately work with Lebanon to deal with Hezbollah, the militants that Israel's been waging war with, until a ceasefire that led Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz today. We have breaking news moments ago from the Senate, where by unanimous consent, they have extended a controversial surveillance program, a 10-day extension through the end of the month. The House had done the same thing at around 2 o'clock this morning. Some lawmakers worry that foreign surveillance in that provision could infringe on Americans' rights. America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
News. Again, our top Fox News story, the Dow's up over 1,000 points. Oil is plunging 14% after Iran said it is completely reopening the Strait of Hormuz to shipping, though President Trump maintains the U.S. military blockade on Iran's ports will continue until there's a deal. ICE's acting director is on his way out. Todd Lyons will step down at the end of May as Democrats continue to hold up funding for Homeland Security, demanding immigration enforcement reforms after the controversial operations in Minneapolis led to 2 deadly shootings and other actions that Democrats in Minnesota think are criminal.
Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty's office has issued a nationwide arrest warrant for 35-year-old ICE agent Gregory Morgan Jr. after charging him with 2 counts of second-degree assault for allegedly pointing his gun at 2 people on the highway back in February.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney. The U.S. has removed more immigrants here illegally sent to Africa. 15 flown into Congo early this morning. All are from Latin America and gotten legal protection from U.S. judges not to be returned to their home countries. A French widow has been kicked out and sent back to her home country today.
Marie-Therese Ross-Mahay, 86 years old, was arrested by immigration agents in Alabama on April 1st and sent to a detention center in Louisiana. Homeland Security says she'd overstayed a 90-day visa by about 4 months. Ross-Mahay got married last April to a widower from Alabama named Bill Ross. Her family says they met in the 1950s when Ross was in the army stationed in Western France and married one of her friends. They reconnected decades later after their spouses died and got married. Then Ross died in January without a will. There was a dispute over the inheritance, mostly a 1-story house and 2 vehicles. One of Ross's sons, a federal courthouse employee, denies using his position to have Ross Mejia arrested. Chris Foster, Fox News.
The singer known as David, under arrest in Los Angeles, held without bail in the death of a 14-year-old whose body was found in the trunk of a Tesla last September in Los Angeles. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. Mostly cloudy, windy, and quite warm this afternoon. Highs in the upper 80s to mid 90s. Clear early, then increasing clouds tonight. It'll be breezy and warm. The low only down into the mid 70s. Then on Saturday, breezy, cloudy. The high hitting right around 90. And cloudy with occasional rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Sunday, much cooler. Highs in the 60s to 70. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
The spring sales event is here at South Texas Buick GMC. Now's your time to upgrade this spring. Drive home a powerful GMC Sierra SLE for only $99 a month. Or take home the versatile Buick Encore GX for just $193 a month. Plus, enjoy huge savings across our entire inventory, but only for a limited time. Visit SouthTexasGMC.com or call 661-5000 off Sherry Road between McAllen and Mission. Celebrating 20 years with you. South Texas Buick GMC. Not the biggest, just the best.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center, this is the Sergio Show. Talking about the news headlines and topics that affect you. And now, the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez.
Hour 2 of the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV 789. Yeah, and now the fourth hour of the fourth and change hour of programming live on 710 KURV on this special broadcast day where we are in San Antonio. I've been here before at this JW Marriott. There's a story behind that, but I'll save it for the commentary at another day. Let's just say I was introduced to this gorgeous, very pricey. If there is something greater and more opulent than First World, then there would be something like this. It's a beautiful place. I would encourage you to bring your family, discover the JW Marriott. And more than likely, different industries, they come here and do their conventions because it's nice. There's plenty for the family to do as well. And after all, San Antonio, you can leave the campus and go do something else. We are here with the Texas International Produce Association. Our friend Dante Gagliazzi. Yeah, so we got a good Italian. That's a solid Italian name, right? Dante Gagliazzi. And we had another solid Italian name. I didn't have fun with him on this. The Far International Port of Entry, the Far International Bridge, Luis Bazan, right? Another great Italian name. We are here for Viva Fresh, the annual expo that has been amazingly successful. Now, 11 years and running. Dante Gagliazzi and his crew at TIPA, the Texas International Produce Association, bring from across the state of Texas all types of produce, veggie, fruit, nuts, berries, anything in Texas agriculture under one roof, and makes it real easy to sell to the nation and sell to the world. And we have increased those sales thanks in large part to this wonderful convention, and we're so honored to be here. I want to say a special thank you to Joaquin Spammer, who we have been blessed in our business partnership with him. We are blessed to be part of the team that is able to message on behalf of RioPlex, the economic development, economic recruitment concept that emphasizes our region, that puts forward South Texas and Northern Mexico as one entity, which it is. I mean, if you look at Metro Houston or Metro Dallas, Fort Worth, put on one presentation all the different airports, all the different energy, all the different schools and universities, the hospitals, the highways, you name it. And of course, with us, we have the sea, the Gulf of America. We have a spaceport with our neighbor Elon Musk. But everything, all rail, everything, yeah, we're the same. And we have a young population ready to go. So Rio Plagues. I thank him specifically because he's the one that brought us a lot closer last year, the first broadcast that we did with Dante Gagliazzi at TIPA and Viva Fresh. So we're broadcasting from Viva Fresh Expo here in San Antonio. And for us, it's an honor to be with family, or ag family of South Texas. So in this hour, CIL Fresh coming up in seconds, and also the Museum of South Texas History, looking at the importance, the deep roots of agriculture, the agricultural industry, our heritage here in South Texas. That's coming up in minutes. I want to say thank you to our supporters this hour, South Texas Buick GMC and Lone Star National Bank. Special presentation on 710 KURV from the Texas International Produce Association, the TIPA, their annual Viva Fresh Expo taking place in San Antonio, Texas. And one of our many supporters making this special presentation possible. Of late, they've become real good friends, folks at CIL Capital, CIL Fresh specifically, which is a division of the CIL partnership. And in the studio, Jose Carlos Camo, he is president of CIL Fresh. And we were talking a bit off air of the evolution in the Valley market. He complimented the studios in Mission, Texas for KURV and Radio United. I don't mention this enough. It's a real pretty building here at the corner of Taylor and Business 83. And it is at the site of where the Benson family, you guys who are new to the area, remember Lloyd Benson? I know if you're a nerd, you know who Lloyd Benson is, Senator Benson. Well, this used to be a Benson family home, a site from like 50 some odd years ago. It's like a glass house. Puros Naranjos, all orange orchards all around here. It's just nothing but city and continuing to grow. Jose Carlos, come on, welcome to the program. You were mentioning to me how in North McAllen, Ruth Road, up there like close to Monte Cristo, Tres Lagos, a bunch of orchards are gone.
Yeah.
The evolution continues.
Yeah, well, that's the perfect progress, right? So if we're going to grow, we need to sacrifice something. But of course, if you love agriculture, you'll see, oh my God, but that's part of the deal, as we can say.
I love Valley oranges, the sweetest in the world, in my opinion. Truly, I mean, Texas oranges, South Texas oranges, the sweetest in the world. And I was about to tell Jose that I'm embarrassed to admit this, being a South Texas boy and even a Reynosa boy. I had too many years in Houston. I never got a chance to smell the blossoms, the orange blossoms.
Oh, those are beautiful.
When I brought my parents down from Houston, there was a home that I was able to rent thanks to some friends, Richard Cortez, Tony Aguirre. They had like a property there that was out in the orange orchards before Tres Lagos showed up, before all the development showed up. And in my back and forth to, daily take some food, eat with mom and dad, because they had nurses taking care of them at that property.
Yeah,
it hit me like the scent of the blossoms, like boom, like what is this? I had never experienced that in my life until that amazing scent of orange blossoms.
That's when we say in Spanish, huele a azares. It's a beautiful,
it's
beautiful.
Cool. It's
scent.
amazing. What a beautiful scent. But little by little, as more land is taken for neighborhoods and for industry, that is changing, disappearing. Agriculture is still big business.
It is.
And you are part of that arm of agriculture that is growing and employing more people. I've seen you at several CIL events, CIL Fresh events, thanks to Joaquin Spalmer. And the square footage, the refrigeration places, the massive warehouses. Tell folks a bit about CIL Fresh and you and Mr. Spalmer and the massive warehouses that are expanding, hiring more people, and becoming a more important part of logistics, distribution of produce into the country.
Correct. Yes. Well, actually, we started this project a long time ago, but we started with one of our big customers right there in West Laco, but because of the need of this growing businesses that is coming through this port of entry, let's say, the Rio place. We understood that we needed to build a bigger warehouse, build cold rooms to satisfy the demand of our customers. So, yeah, there's a lot of future right here in the valley because of the volume that is coming from Mexico. The produce, agriculture is expanding a lot. So
We saw the Weslaco. Is it one facility, or do you have several facilities in the Mid Valley in Weslaco?
Several facilities, but one of them has the cold rooms. That's where we have our main customer. It is a 65,000 square feet cold rooms facility in Weslaco. From there, we moved to the new one, which is in south of Far, the one that we have the inauguration, right?
Yeah, had the
Recently.
big party to start.
There you go, yeah.
Where's that customer from Missouri? What was it? Minnesota, right?
It is from Minneapolis,
Minnesota.
That's where they
Big
are.
food distributor, produce distributor. Yeah.
Actually, they're big, very big in the logistics service, and one of their division is the produce, which they are very, very big as well.
I go back to the Weslaco facility. Is that where the governor was?
There you go.
A few weeks back?
Yeah.
Well, that's a massive facility. They look like 4 or 5 super Walmarts chained to each other, right? Just a very long facility.
Yeah, that facility, in that area, we have three warehouses. One of them is with the cold rooms and also a dry area, which we handle cotton bales.
Yeah.
So
That's
where
where we were.
the governor was one of them with only cotton bales.
I was joking with the other press that were there when the governor visited. There in the cotton bales warehouse, it was like a puzzle. Like what do they call the corn? It looked like a corn maze, Freddie. They had like walls of cotton stand up, and walls and walls and walls of cotton, and you gotta go through and eventually go see the governor.
There you go.
There's a money making business. You should like stack and do like a puzzle and get people to come in and walk through, see if they like a corn maze. Anyway, just an idea.
No, yeah. Well, actually, how we handle the cotton bales is according to the specific type of fiber. So we have a per lot, 90 cotton bales per lot. So that's why you.
That's why you had them segmented that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Jose Carlos Camo, he's president of CIL Fresh, one of the many supporters that make it possible for us, for KURV, to be in San Antonio at the International Produce Association, the TIPA, Texas International Produce Association, the annual VIVA Fresh Expo. So let's talk a little bit about the Expo. Day one, networking. Day two, a lot of education and seminars. And Saturday is the Expo itself, where people visit the convention. So you've been with them pretty much since the beginning of like 8-9 years, however long they've been doing this Viva Fresh.
Yes, of course. They started in San Antonio, then they changed to Austin, and then go back to San Antonio so far.
Yeah.
Now they have some in the Dallas area.
Yeah. They went to Houston
last year.
Yeah.
Now they're back in San Antonio.
Yeah.
It's a very important exposition because it's more for regional business, and it's been growing a lot.
Yeah.
So I understand that besides the other conventions that are, this is more realistic to here to the valley for the agriculture that goes here or from Mexico and crosses through here.
So many challenges in agriculture. And this is a theme that we visit with many of the supporters and folks in ag that visit with us. There's water issues, lack of water issues, lack of rain, expensive seed, expensive fertilizer, expensive diesel, so many things that are pulling on the industry, the encroachment of neighborhoods, folks who just give up and sell their land, and here comes more neighborhoods, here comes more industry. But yet still, Valley agriculture is a strong part of the South Texas economy, and of whoever is left and still fighting the good fight. How does this Viva Fresh Expo help them get their produce, get their crops to market, to H-E-Butt, Walmart? Like, what type of exchanges take place at Viva Fresh?
Well, it's very important because you can have together most of the buyers of the important chain supermarkets, so they can make contact with them, they can make some deals, and that's how, it is the beauty of this kind of conventions, because you can be face to face to the seller or the buyer, and that's when you close a lot of deals.
They're coming in from out of state, right? I was told
they come from out of
they
state.
got big chains.
Usually, when they started, it was more local, more regional. But now it's been growing, and they come from out of state because they know what the region has to grow here: citrus, onions, greens. So that's the beauty of this valley. So
tell me some of the produce, some of the crops. You mentioned cotton. I know avocados because we were there with Joaquin and company when there were some investors from northern Mexico, avocado producers. Very proud to say that near future and far, they'll be expanding square footage and bringing in more avocados. So give me a quick inventory of some of the produce, fruits that's CIL fresh you'll handle at all these massive warehouses.
Well, basically in our warehouse right now, we handle most tropical fruits, limes, papayas, mangoes, and we are starting to receive peppers. We will receive avocado in this new warehouse, this facility. But if you see around, you will see so many warehouses that are starting to be built, mostly for the avocado industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
from CIL Fresh, right?
Of course.
Yes.
That's the
and
idea.
mostly in FAR.
Definitely.
In FAR,
yeah.
Texas. Yeah.
Actually, next to where we are right now, we're going to start building a big, if I'm not mistaken, 80,000 square feet facility with a plan of expansion to 100,000 square feet for avocados only. And then at the other side of this load is coming another one.
Okay. Well, it's good to see the expansion of this industry. More hiring, right?
Oh, definitely. We are creating so many employees so that it's been very convenient for the area.
Más o menos, ballpark figure. Like how many folks at CIL Fresh you got on payroll now? Because you got more square footage, more warehousing.
Definitely.
How many folks?
Right now we have 110.
Okay.
In the peak season, and then when we're kind of slow, we go to 60 employees on a basis.
Yeah.
But when we have the peak season, because we do the repacking services as well, then we double the number of persons in our warehouse.
Repacking services.
Correct.
Okay, for a city kid like me, I'm not a kid. Explain that to me. Like repacking, what is that?
Well, we call repack because all the fruit comes already packed. The fruit it's been harvested an origin from the orchards to the packing shed over there in Mexico. Let's say that's where they pack. They classify, they clean it, they classify according to the size and condition and quality. So we receive it like that.
Okay.
What we do, we repack because according to our customers' instructions, we change the package. We can make a smaller box or use a bag. So that's why we repack the fruit.
You have, I'm sure you do, have an idea. How many clients does CIL Fresh have that you are distributing to?
We have basically one very big client. This client distributes to a lot of customers as well. So we've been like, we are the muscle here in the area.
Yeah.
So that's what we do
right
now.
Yeah. The quarterback, which is the initial, sends to you. You're the running back. You grab and send to somebody else. And then from there, it goes
correct
everywhere else.
Correct.
You got more. I know you've got more square footage that's coming up, more warehousing coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
So that means more hiring in the near future.
Definitely. Yeah. That's the project that we have. We have some very enthusiastic prospects that they are even already here in the valley, but they want us to give them the service, build their cold rooms, and starting from there.
Mr. Joaquin Spalmer from CIL Capital, part of that CIL family. CIL Fresh is what I'm talking to right now, Jose Carlos Camo. Is there an international, like just south of the border? I know there is in deep northern Mexico with avocados. Is there a more local, they'll call it Rioplex presence on the Mexican side, where we have some agriculture coming there to us here for the CIL Fresh warehousing?
Well, if we talk about Rioplex is mostly the area, south part of Texas and northern part of Tamaulipas, right? And
is there Tamaulipas produce headed this way that you handle?
There's a few of Tamaulipas produce. Mainly it comes more from the southern part of Mexico, not in the middle part of Mexico and the Michoacan area, and also Veracruz. That's where we bring mostly of the tropical
They'll travel
fruit.
through that to come over here. Okay.
But over there in the Mexican side, in Tamaulipas, Reynosa, we also give the service as a repacking facility, which it is called Salsa, and then we have El Tocadero to give the growers, the exporters, all that kind of service, logistically speaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you because I've seen that term before, and you get it on your shirt too. The salsa emblem. That's the Reynosa operation.
Correct.
For
That's a repacking facility as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear that there's a very strong expansion of operations for CIL Fresh, warehousing. It's a logistics operation.
Correct.
Cold storage as well. That's going to be available here in the near future. As we broadcast from the Texas International Produce Association, VIVA Fresh, what are you looking forward to most in the 3-day event, especially at the expo or maybe some of the training, some of the conversations taking place?
Oh, which
on the
those
Friday?
are very important as well, and we can be updating any kind of information or situation that could be any news, but mostly we have the opportunity to say hello face to face to our
meet folks in the industry.
different customers or different people that we are in the industry. It's a very interesting, very important because even though we can make new relationships as well.
There's policy, there's trade, there's also issues related to resources, water, and other or scarcity or challenges related to that. Those get addressed during I would imagine during the Friday conversation.
Yeah. That will be the education seminars that we will have there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We're very excited to receive those.
Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
It's good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Sergio.
I can't tell you how many events we've attended on behalf of Joaquin Spalmer. And I've always seen this gentleman. I've always seen Jose. Now I'm going to call you JC every time I see
There
him.
you go.
Jose Carlos Camon. He's the president of CIL Fresh, one of the many participants at the International Produce Association VIVA Fresh Conference in San Antonio.
Coming up after the Sergio Show, stay tuned for the Dana Les Show starting at 11, followed by the Brian Kilmeade Show at 2 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potterme app.
For over a century, one name has stood for quality, safety, and service in the commercial roofing and waterproofing industry, Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. While our services have grown, our commitment to safety, ongoing training, customer service, and attention to detail has remained the foundation of our success, ensuring our teams are prepared, our customers are protected, and our projects are delivered with excellence.
From roofing and sheet metal to waterproofing and caulking, leak repair and preventative maintenance, and even full building and parking garage restoration, Chamberlain delivers professional, personalized results every time.
From large-scale roof replacements or quick leak repair, Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing provides top-quality installations at a competitive price, all with the spirit of cooperation for our valued clients.
Now serving Rio Grande Valley and throughout Texas, you can count on Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing to deliver more. Call 956-655-6178 or visit ChamberlainLTD.com to learn more.
They say the world we live in has never been more digitally focused. And these days, it seems as if we spend most of our lives looking down, lost in our own worlds. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas knows some of these advancements in technology serve another purpose, to connect us all with 24/7, 360-degree access to the latest products and technologies to better serve your universe within. And as the most trusted customer-owned health insurer for nearly a century, we've remained community-focused, not publicly traded, grounded in our trusted local presence. So we don't only work for you, we work right here with you. At Blue Cross, we also believe in a larger world of wellness, and we'll make sure it's forever revolving around yours.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Thank you, Brownsville, and thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening today to News Talk 710 KURV, the Valley's official home for Fox News Radio.
The time is 10:29, the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. Big thank you to our daily supporters who make it possible for Talk Radio, KURV, to be on the air, not only on radio, but also all this wonderful social media stuff that we're doing these days. And it's just getting better all the time. It's a wonderful, brave new existence for, what do they call it on social media? The influencers, right? Well, before there was these influencers and podcasts were the greats of radio and radio stations. So it is only natural that all corporations, all big radio stations, all of them, we're all discovering, because the storytellers are on talk radio. The storytellers are on radio, even the morning jocks on FM stations. Well, there's so much talent nationwide. There's really smart, funny, charismatic individuals. They're the storytellers. They're on social media. The future is beautiful and bright for all storytellers, and that's what radio is. It is theater of the mind. Television has hope as well if they find a way to get their storytellers also to conquer the social media platform. So thank you for joining us, 710K URV, Facebook, X, and YouTube. LinkedIn, which is something that we use a lot in this very business-heavy, political-heavy, especially business-heavy media that is talk radio, because we pretty much own the business community. We got ag, we got business community. LinkedIn doesn't do live. So producer Joe and Pobrecito Zach, they're chopping up and putting on LinkedIn later on. So look for those posts on LinkedIn. And we do, good and bad. Love to get some reaction from it, because this new product is being perfected all the time. Comment on it. Está muy feo. That dude's too old, too ugly. Está bien, that's fine. I mean, you ain't got nobody else. You're stuck with me. But comment on that. I want to say thank you to the good folks that make it possible for it. Yours truly and Aldo Nava. God bless you, Aldo. Alfredo Good Freddy, that is with me. Freddie Cruz is taking care of the show. Bad Freddie, he's the evil Freddie back in Mission. I want to say thank you to the folks that made it possible for us to be here at Viva Fresh today. Again, all these interviews eventually will be parsed, and we'll put them back there. You can rewind. I learned something new every day. I learned a lot of new things. And with the conversations with these folks, wow, there's a lot of information for me to go back and digest. Coming up in just a little bit is the Museum of South Texas History with a dear friend. I love talking with this dude. I could spend so much time with Francisco Guajardo. He's the CEO of the Museum of South Texas History. And, well, as you can imagine, agriculture, from steamboats to cotton, citrus orchards, all the packing sheds, vegetables, water canal system, all those things. We were once known as an area. We were once perceived as an area by original Spanish settlers and scribes, people that will report back to the crown in España. We were considered an area that should never, ever be seeded, planted with agriculture. Maybe just a little bit light, farming, but not what we have now, what we have benefited from. But it was technology that changed everything. That conversation with Frank Guajardo coming up. He's the director of the Museum of South Texas History coming up. Thank you to Bevel Distributors. Thank you, Jimmy Garza. Thank you, Papa, Aquiles Garza. Aquiles and Jimmy. Thank you for your support. Bevel Distributors, that's one conversation. I had a lot of fun with Joaquin. Dante Galeazzi, thank you for having us over, brother, at the Texas International Produce Association, Viva Fresh. A conversation with him that we'll parse and post here soon. Thank you to Teclo Garcia, the director of Mission Economic Development. Of course, Mission, I would argue, probably has either in name or in heritage, but I would argue probably in acreage, probably still has the most agriculture, just because of the orange orchards just themselves, probably has the most agriculture within its city limits. It's the city of Mission. Lone Star Citrus Growers, Judd Flowers, you and all of your beautiful Flowers family, God bless you. Thank you for joining us and bringing us over here to Viva Fresh. The Far International Bridge and some of their clients as well. Thank you to Louis and all the staff over at the City of FAR. Thank you for having us over and blessing us with all these different conversations, a lot of fun conversations. Joaquin Spalmer, thank you, my friend. CIL Fresh. And as I mentioned, the Museum of South Texas History. Lord willing, hopefully we'll get the chance to do this again. Hopefully I'm still around next year. Let's see what the Lord says, right? And if we are, hopefully we'll feature. There's so many. I didn't even scratch the surface, people. I mean, all these conversations, this is not even a crumb of the representation that is out there on the floor at Viva Fresh right now. It is vast. It is massive. And it would take a gargantuan facility like the JW Marriott to host all these growers and support services and distributors and trade routes, truckers, logistics, bridges, all, my goodness, all different agencies that are here. Yeah, agriculture is big business, and it still is big business in the Rio Grande Valley. And that's the Viva Fresh Expo. And the benefits to us is more jobs and more business and more money coming into the valley because we're able to send new products, send to market all the products that are produced in South Texas. So hopefully next year, as we hope to come back to Viva Fresh with new supporters and different supporters, have a chance to feature them as well and look at South Texas and Texas agriculture from a different angle. I'm Sergio Sanchez. I want to say thank you to our supporters this hour, South Texas Buick GMC. Big thank you as well to Lone Star National Bank. We invite you to join us day to day at Radio Para Mí. It is the free app. That way you can listen on your smartphone.
Jay Gonzalez, the Valley's top lawyer with over 20 years of experience. Jay Gonzalez is simply the best. If you've been injured in a crash, call 1-800-CAR-CRASH today.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code STATION for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's STATION.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Don't miss it this Wednesday, bright and early, starting at 8 o'clock. The Sergio Show on location, broadcasting from the Weslaco State of the City, with special guest interviews, news, and much more. Wednesday morning starting at 8 on News Talk 710 KURV. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
News of service of the Edinburgh Consolidated Independent School District. There's open enrollment at Edinburgh CISD from pre-K 3 to graduation. Discover exciting programs, caring teachers, and a future of possibilities.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Iran opens the Strait of Hormuz for all commercial vessels. President Trump posting a great and brilliant day for the world, but says the U.S. blockade of Iran's ports will continue until the peace deal is complete.
Iran was reportedly asking for a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon as part of its requirements for some type of peace deal with the United States. Now that the president announced that 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon yesterday, the foreign minister of Iran announced that the Strait of Hormuz behind me in the distance in the Persian Gulf is declared completely open for the remaining period of the ceasefire.
President Trump posting, now I received a call from NATO asking if we need help. I told them stay away. Markets soaring. The Dow's been